You don't even post them posts no more. You know you've been there. I remember the first time I was closing, headlining the comedy store tonight. All them Dave Fulton going their feelings. You're closing tonight. No, I'm headlining.
Yeah, we don't really do headliners. Yeah.
I do.
Everybody here can headline.
Yeah,
sure.
But
bro.
they chose me. Then after a few of those, from do you want to close? I'm really tired. You know, I gotta catch the last train to Hackney. Bro, it went from you opening a show to thinking one day I'll get to close and be that cool guy.
Yeah.
Then you get to close and you're thinking yeah. Then you get to the point where you get to the show and you're like, I want to open.
I mean,
because I want to get home as soon as possible.
I remember back then I was so gassed because you know when you do 2 shows on a Saturday, the late show, nobody wants to go last in the late show basically.
No.
So that was the first time I actually got to close. It was, I think it was like Pete Johansson was like, he needs to swap with somebody. I was like, hell yeah, I'll do it. Bro, after I had to keep my energy up till like 1, 2 in the morning,
yeah.
bro.
You realized this
I was
not
like, he knew what he was doing.
Everybody knew what he was doing.
He skipped out, bro.
Yeah.
But saying that, like, that's not the wildest I've seen. Like, in New York, they have shows that start at 2 a.m.
But that's because that's the culture of it there, though.
Yeah. And plus, when you're in Times Square, it doesn't feel like night or day.
Yeah.
The light, there's too many lights, so you just feel like you're constantly awake.
It's there to kill you, basically. The H&M is open till 3 in the morning.
Bro, facts, bro. Sephora is open.
And the maddest thing, there's no reason for any fashion store to be open till 3 o'clock. There's no reason.
No.
There's no reason other than kill people.
To shop. I have, because I was like, the novelty of it.
Other than slavery, there is no reason to have your store open at 3 in the morning.
Yo,
Who is raising their children?
Bro, do you know what it is, yeah? It gives someone a chance to do a night shift, you know what I'm saying?
And who's raising their kids?
Then the kids are sleeping, bro.
Oh, right. That's responsible. Your mama go to work. Y'all don't fight when I'm gone.
They'll just teach them just to dial 911 if everything gets wrong.
It's a crazy world. That's why everyone wants to kill themselves.
It is a mad world, but I mean, come on, man. We work at nighttime. We make it work.
Not at 3 in the morning, bro. Listen, you say we work at nighttime. We go on stage for 20 minutes. Imagine you come into work that day, only on the 8 to 3 shift tonight.
I actually used to do night shifts for Abercrombie and Fitch when I told you I used to work there. Yeah. I did some of the night shifts. Yeah. Night shifts were lit, bro.
Yeah, because you had the option because you were going to quit and you were going to go to uni or at least have a career. Yeah. Some people, that's their life.
That's where all the black people worked. All the black people work night shift.
Right.
Just hella, like you're folding clothes, but the most time it's just banter.
The reason why I say the 3 a.m. is because we look at it as just open to 3 a.m. But we don't realize that's going to be a security guard that has to do that job. Yeah. There's going to be cleaners that have to stay up till 3 a.m. in the morning or come in at least at 3 in the morning to clean the store. There's going to be people who are working there and that's their life. Yeah. And the money's not worth it.
But how else are the rappers going to tell their rags to rich stories, bro? I had to work 3 jobs, nigga. Like There's
no rags to rich story no more.
There's
you don't
no
even need a job
story,
no more. It's a ghetto to rich story. It's a ghetto fabulous story now. You know, I stay up in my hood and I build cherry castles. You know, they don't really leave the hood no more. There is, my mama had to. They pull up in my hood and I must kill you. That's come to my. They tell you to pull up, drop your location, I'm gonna pull up on you. So it's a different story. But I'm just looking at it from when you look at it like to have these things, running till like early hours. Whereas it's a great thing.
It, as a consumer,
because you don't
have to work.
Like, think about it. Look at the It's Coming Home saga. Mm-hmm. The whole country was like, they're going to make a mess.
Of course.
And did you stop to think for a second, who's going to clean it? And I asked a girl who lived in Wembley, what was it like the next morning? She goes, pretty much clean. I was like, who had to clean that?
Bruh, those guys must have been on triple time, though. Like, you mean
pay?
Yeah.
Slave pay. They must have been on that slave bump.
Yeah, bruh. Like,
hell yeah, because...
Yo, you told me to work the England final at Wembley.
Yeah.
Nah, brother.
But that's the thing, though. And that's why capitalism is a beautiful thing, because everybody has a price.
I'm not working. One brother.
No, I'm not working that Wembley fine. That's too much. Triple pay. All right, you know what? Can I do an 8 to 3 though? Because I knew that. You might notice like this triple pay. I'm going to work.
But even then, like people were dedicated. Because I saw the brother that was pushing people out that were trying to bum rush the stadium, and I was like, at this point,
there's people taking bribes.
Pardon?
There's a guy taking money.
Wow.
So when he searches you put the money in his pocket and he let you through without ticket.
Wow.
Bro, everybody has to eat, man. Why would you not? Have you seen where they pay stewards? Someone comes up to you and says, I can give you the price of a ticket in your pocket. Just let me in. I'm not saying you will do it, but out of 100 stewards, come on, y'all.
Come on, man. You just need one.
You just need one.
I just need one.
And there will be one.
Bruh.
There will be one.
But all I was gonna say is that guy that was proper like putting his body in the way trying to stop people. I would have been like, yo, they ain't gonna put a plaque up for me if I die in
So
the
you wouldn't
stampede.
have, you would have just backed up.
No, I would have done what I can. Guys, stay back, stay back.
But
All right,
the
when they
moment-
push back, I just keep myself safe.
So in that with that thought process, why not just say, hey, you ain't going to do all this. Just slip me a nice 20 and you can all come in.
Hey, look, yeah. Once you start doing that, then you're complicit, bro. It's very different.
But you are complicit. You bitch now.
No, because
They are paying you to secure the premises, sir.
If you work in a bank,
Yeah.
they tell you to hand over the money if
Yes.
someone tries to rob the bank.
Right.
It's something else if someone comes to you and says, let me slide you some money to let me rob the bank. It's two different things. So for me, like, there's no bank employee that should be dying for the bank. The bank's
Right.
going to be all right.
I hear you.
And I'm not going to die for
hear you.
Wembley Stadium.
But
you know
you
what I'm
can't
saying?
tell that to you can't really say that to an employee. The bank gonna be all right. I'm gonna tell my cousins to roll through them because the bank gonna be all right.
I
That should be the bank's
interviewed,
motto. We gonna be all right.
I interviewed for Metro Bank before they opened in the UK. And
To
Metro
do
Bank,
what? To do stand up for them or something?
yeah. I was gonna be a regular in-house
In-house
stand-up.
comedy rep.
Yeah.
Dope.
Yeah, in fact, it was gonna be live.
Make people laugh and laugh their savings away.
Yeah, bro. It was gonna be called Laughing All the Way to the Bank.
That's terrible and funny at the same time.
Thank you. So I was I went up for the interview, and they explained like, yeah, so as a bank we don't believe in bulletproof glass. We feel like it just puts a barrier between the cashier
And bullets,
I-
which we are
between
strongly
the cashier
against.
and the customer.
Right.
And you know, and studies show that regardless of whether there's bulletproof glass anyway, most of the time most robbers don't actually want to shoot, they want the money. So the policy is if they do come, you hand over the money, no problems. And there's no real trade off for having the glass
So
there.
then why is bank robbing so hard? Why is robbing a bank so hard? That sounds like a cushy gig.
It's getting away.
It's getting away.
Yeah, they usually end up in hostage situations because the bank employees will give you the thing, but the silent alarm gets triggered or whatever it is. Somebody sees it going on and calls the police. Now you have to get away with the money. It's the getting away part that's the hardest part.
But that's why you need an inside job.
I just watched Metro the other day as well. That's probably the reason
That's
why.
why you
that's in
need
my
an
head.
inside job. You
Yeah,
need an
yeah.
inside man.
You need, and that's the reason why usually when you see them doing it, they do it on like on a stopwatch. They do it on like this needs to be done in 1 minute 30 because they know,
The buyer's gonna get tripped.
yeah, and they know they need to be out by a certain time and
Plus,
get to
there's money that has the ink thing where if you ping it, just
yeah,
blurt saying it's useless.
yeah.
But then there's also the untraceable. Funny enough, I was watching a movie about. It's called A Man's Wrath. I was watching about. It was about robbing armored trucks.
Okay,
Not armored trucks, money trucks. Trucks
yeah.
that carry,
Remind me to tell you about this as well because I was also watching Heist.
Money
which
Heist
is, which
or
is on,
Heist?
No, it's just called Heist.
Okay.
It's on Netflix. It's this like true crime documentaries about people that pulled off heists.
Okay.
It was one that's really, really interesting. But anyway, carry on.
Okay. But yeah, so it was just about. I was just saying that because we're talking about robbing banks and they were robbing trucks. But it's funny how much money they get in those trucks. And it's untraceable dollars because it hasn't gone through the system.
Yeah, bro. And,
I don't know how many of them get attacked in real life. There's a lot of movies about them. I don't know how often it is that someone hits a number because that's hard to pull off.
Yeah, bro. Have you ever seen the video of some guys trying to do it in South Africa?
No, but I know
It was nuts, bro.
someone I know pulled off the move, and I saw it on Crime Watch.
You know someone who pulled off a move on an armored truck?
Yeah. No, I don't. Allegedly.
You don't know anyone who allegedly.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah. But
fair
I
enough.
heard
Wow,
that someone might have, and
that's
he was,
brazen, man.
bruv, it was wild. I'll tell you off the air.
Okay, this is an off the edge.
What really
joint
went
right
down?
here.
Because I ain't trying to implicate
Okay.
motherfuckers out here, but yeah.
Wow.
So
My-
yeah, it was.
Bro, in this Netflix.
Do you know? I don't know if I want you to tell me because I like.
Oh, you actually like
heist-
it?
You
Go
know, I
watch
like
it, bro.
heist documentary. I like that stuff in it.
Yeah, this
I
one is
watched
like
one
they
about-
dramatized it as well as like
Okay,
having
how it
the
happened?
person-
Because
yeah,
I know I used to watch one on the Crime Channel, and these guys were prolific bank robbers,
Yeah.
and they didn't get caught. They got
Okay.
away, but he wanted to do some reservations on his house.
Renovation.
Or his wife renovations on his wife wanted to.
Yeah.
But you know when you have a good gig in it, if you're the side, you just need everyone around you to think like you.
Of course.
But the problem is, no everyone around you thinks like you.
Yeah.
You know,
bro.
maybe 5 of us pull off an amazing heist. We make millions. There's that one guy that buys the Bugatti with the
course.
gold rims.
Of course. Of course.
And
there is, bro.
look at me on the bumper, and you're like this.
Of course, bro. That's
We're gonna get caught.
Every movie, bro.
It's
Every,
like, we're
every
gonna get
movie,
caught
bro.
because this guy doesn't understand what bait means. So
Yeah.
anyway, the wife wanted to do everything in cash, which was a red flag, but whatever, innit?
Yeah.
No one's really gonna say anything. But it was her attitude to the person doing the job. She was a bitch to him.
Don't do that.
Bro, this is illegal bread.
Don't do that.
You're supposed to give a little extra something.
You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to be extra nice.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Hey,
But she
take
was
care of
just-
that. Go take care of
Yeah,
your
don't worry
kids,
about
man.
that. But she was, moaning, and every penny mattered to her, and so he decided.
Every penny she didn't work for.
Right.
She wasn't with him shooting
Giving
in the
him
back.
hell for money she stole. That she didn't even steal. It was the husband.
Yeah, you
And
didn't
so-
you missed that, bro. The line, she wasn't with me shooting in the gym.
Right, you ain't even really shooting in the back, right? So she just jumped. She was doing all this extra stuff, and he decided to stick her
Yeah.
because he didn't like her, and told his mate who works as an IRS thingy that this woman's paying me a lot of cash. How can that even be? Do it, kind of audit them in it.
Bruh.
So
That's what you don't need.
right. So imagine you're the husband now.
Stressing me out, and
They
I'm not
get-
even a criminal.
Right, and they're going for the audit thing, and they're trying to figure out where this money came from. When you have to now spend some of the money you stashed away to kill this noise. But funnily enough, the husband was driving back somewhere after a while, just driving back from one place to another,
Yeah.
and he gets pulled over for driving too slow.
Yeah.
Comes out the car, and the policeman is just talking to him. He says he's got a bit of a funny demeanor, but he's just kind of... The thing about this, what I've noticed with white police, when they're stopping white people, they want to give them the benefit of the doubt all the time.
Yeah.
But white people just stay moving mad.
I people be fumbling
Like,
the
they're like, I
whole
wanted
bag.
to believe him. I wanted to... But, they pull out a devil's action. Like, okay, I got to... So he just said, look, let me pop the trunk kind of thing. Opens up the trunk. He said, there's a bag of keys in there.
Keys of cocaine.
No, keys. Just the actual
just actual
keys.
keys.
Like, just too many keys.
This nigga.
It's like, why do you have so many keys? Couldn't explain it. And then they started to just think, what's going on kind of thing. Detains him. They try and they figure out what the keys were for, like safety deposit boxes.
Yeah.
And that's how they started putting two and two together. And they realized he was the bank robber they've been looking for years.
Mad.
It just a routine stopped
Mad.
kind of ended his
Driving
run.
too slow. That's
Too
the
slow,
worst
man.
one, bro.
Because he could have been speeding, but he was driving too slow. And it's just that his demeanor gave him away.
Yeah, bro.
So it was just really weird how I just felt to myself, I feel
think
like
he wanted
God,
to he must have wanted to get caught.
sometimes they're tired.
Yeah.
But he wasn't on the run though. But the money, his wife was getting on his nerves. He couldn't really divorce this woman because she had the money came. So you're in that, you're just trying to put out little flames.
Yeah.
But you're right. There was another one where the crew was strong. The police knew who they were, but they couldn't really pin it on them. You just find a weak link in the crew.
That's it.
The one that's always on the phone. Danny, they called me again. They've called me 6 times. And he's like, bro, just relax in it. But he's about to spill the beans. So
Of course.
I think that's you're right, getting away with the thing.
Yeah.
Because it's not just you leaving the premise now.
Yeah.
It's keeping everything on
the
tap.
low.
Yeah.
And that's the point that came out from this one that's on Netflix that you should go watch. It was the fact that people count the win when they get away from the scene of the crime and they got the money, right? Sometimes people even count the win when they get out of the country. But you'll be surprised. Everything you thought you were buying, you lose freedom for it. And the freedom ends up tormenting you to the point where that's why I said maybe he wanted to get caught. Sometimes people just want to be released from it. And so they'd much rather have their freedom lost in terms of going to jail, but have the freedom of just being able to get it off their chest. And bro, I sometimes I kind of get it. Other times I'm like, bro, hold it down, man. Cry into your money and keep it
But
moving.
you've
I've
never
never
been
been
yeah.
there.
And plus the freedom.
But if you had that kind of if you had some grey money,
Yeah.
what would you do? What would you do? Where would you keep it? How would you operate it?
Well, it's funny because if you asked me this 10 years ago, I'll chat shit. But now, after watching so many heist shows and stuff like that,
Yeah.
the truth is this is hypothetical because you don't know what you would do in that position. But the only thing you need to figure out is your conscience. How do you live from now?
Yeah.
Because it's either stay in the lie or get it off your chest. And what burden can you carry?
Yeah.
Because trust me, the burden of keeping it is harder than living this lavish lifestyle, unless you're a sociopath.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people do a lot of cognitive dissonance to be like,
Or give it to charity and shit like that.
give it to charity, or even just convince themselves that like it was the right thing to do for their family or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I don't think like Jay-Z ever has any like sleepless nights over selling crack to the community. I feel like after a while he's like, I did what I had to do. Do you see what I'm saying? So I feel like eventually...
But he didn't sell crack to the community though. He sold crack to crackheads.
This is a whole discussion.
But it's true though.
Earthquake posted this video today, and there's a clip from somebody saying that, and I don't 100% agree with him, but I kind of see what the point he was trying to make was. But he was saying that crack did more damage to the black community in the US than slavery did.
Okay,
Now,
but what's the point?
the point he's trying to make is that when, at least...
Did he get enough likes and clicks on that?
Well, I don't know. It was from like a longer podcast thing. It was just a
Okay.
clip of that. So like when it was slavery, obviously there was a common enemy, and
There was no
people-
black community in slavery though. But anyway, go on.
Yeah, but at least the idea was it was unilateral,
Yeah, it was.
and it was white people doing this to black people,
Uh-huh.
and so people still got married, tried to keep families together, and so on. But crack changed everybody's mentality to the point where it's like, even if it's your best friend's mum, like if you need to get this money, you will sell the crack to them. So it turned everybody to a point where now we kind of took over destroying ourselves. So
it's all bullshit. It's all for clicks and likes and to sound on some kind of deep look at what I've discovered, but there's no meaning to it. You didn't grow up on a plantation. You have no idea what it was
it's
like
true,
in that
man.
time.
It's really hard to.
So it's a nice
compare.
privilege for you to sit down and say, it killed, look what the ghetto did. You didn't live in slavery times. You don't understand. Women, if they gave birth to a son, they will drown their son. What kind of mentality is that? A woman will drown her baby boy because she would rather him dead than work for a fucking plantation. So don't come with that whole comparison bullshit. It's so... Black people... And I'm going to say black people. I don't get it no more. I really don't get it no more. Like, what are we doing? Like, crack.
Making content, bro.
Making content, man. All this for clicks and likes. That's it.
Pretty much.
Because look at the football, for instance. And everybody's... We need to protect these three kings at all costs. And I was like, protect them for... They're on 300 grand a week. They need to protect me. Give me some of that protection. Do you know how much pussy they're gonna get in the next 3 weeks before preseason?
Bruh.
I mean, if you're talking for me to get them enough condoms for protection, I get that. That's all the protection they need. That's all the protection they need.
Bruh, all of these racist guys' daughters are gonna be out
They're
here
gonna get this trying to suck their dick.
atoning
I
for
even
this.
said to people, I don't think we take it from these racist people's perspective from once. Marcus Rashford is a multi-millionaire football player.
Yeah.
A dream they probably had. He's good looking, he's a young kid, oozes testosterone, and he's fucking white girls. Premium white girls. Come on, man. That's all he had. You gotta let him say sign racist. That's all I got. That's all I got left, my nigga. I can't say that. Come on, bro.
That's
He's living the
hilarious,
dream.
bro.
You gotta look at it from their perspective. This guy's got 6 followers.
Can you imagine if that was like a
plea.
a therapist charity that black people set up for white people,
For racists.
for racists?
I
to
get
be
it.
like, look, we get it.
I
You
get
don't
it,
need
man.
an outlet, so
I
you
get
have
it.
to deal with the fact that these guys
Bruv,
are.
when Foden and Mason Greenwood,
Yeah.
English youngsters, 18 and 20,
Yeah.
went to Iceland for a friendly game. Bruv, they drew 2 girls to come back to the hotel. That shit made the papers. They had to send them home. It was like, this is a disgrace. Nah, this is 17-year-old dick.
Bruh,
You don't think?
I mean, it's
So
Iceland,
the thing is this as well, we use this racial abuse to magnify an image or an enemy of racism we hate, when we all know racism in this country is subtle. It's not that loud.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, every once in a while, it gets loud, and that's the thing.
But it
that
wasn't
people-
even loud, because if you think about it, it was a minute few of people who were doing that, and they were always going to do it. Always.
True. To be honest, they
were
do that on a
always-
Tuesday.
Bro,
bro.
they do that. You know what the funny thing is? Don't boo, guys. Don't boo the national anthem. Don't boo the knee. All right. Knee. Boo! It's banter for them.
Yeah.
It's banter.
To be fair, like I think it's more self-fulfilling prophecy, because as all three of them missed it, I said, "Oh, all the black guys missed," and I just knew that it was going to be a thing. So
We
it's
all
like
knew that.
when you say, "I know it's going to be a thing," and everybody says, "I know it's going to be a thing," it has to become a thing because we've all acknowledged it. We've
But it
all
was
made,
always
we've-
gonna, even if we
yeah.
didn't acknowledge it, it was gonna be. But here's the thing: it was only gonna become a thing because that's what idiots will do. But here's the thing: look at it from this angle. We're mad at these. We need to ban racist footballers from Twitter or ban racist people from Twitter. What's a racist person? Define a racist person. What's a racist person? How many users are on Twitter? How would you know who's racist? Look at it like this. So let's say those boys won on. Let's say they scored the penalty.
Yeah.
Well, they missed the penalty, and they got some racially abusive tweets, okay, or whatever the idiots were doing, right? Now, if they had won, right, are we saying there would be no racial abuse? If they had won, if they had scored the penalties that this nation would have loved,
We wouldn't have focused on it.
we wouldn't have focused.
Way
on it,
more
would we? We'd
focused.
be more
on winning.
focused on what they've done for the country.
Yeah.
But look at it like this: Linford Christie won gold for this country,
Yeah.
and in the papers the next day they were talking about the size of his dick.
I mean,
Right.
Yeah.
So what are we mad about?
I always mean to point it out to you, but like on the drive to the station, there's a whole series of roads that are named after like the running team. So there's like Christie Close. There's like Akabusi Close.
Oh,
you know what I'm
that's
saying? Like
interesting.
it's quite interesting. Right off my road.
Right.
Yeah. I was
Right.
because the Chris Akabusi thing keeps coming up. And I don't know why every time you say his name, I end up laughing.
It was Linford
But like
Christie,
they showed them a little respect. They named streets after them.
that you don't that no one I didn't even.
Hey, the relax.
You
no one
said
needs
they
to know
name
where they
streets.
are.
You saying they know streets after them.
Yeah.
Every time I mention
They name closes after them. put it
right.
that
Every
way.
time I mention Linford Christie's name on a show, people don't know who he is.
That's no way.
People don't know who
No
it doesn't
way.
register who Linford Christie is. It doesn't. And I felt that. Like, wow, they don't know who he is.
Yeah, that's sad.
And he won gold, bruh.
He
so
won
what-
gold.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's wild.
Also, BMW
His
gave
name
him
should be ringing off.
BMW gave him a car in that period. And
Yeah.
the police pulled him over.
No.
Hey,
way.
no. It gets better. It gets better. He said, I'm Linford Christie. They're like, no, you're not. And he ended up in a cell.
There's no way.
Right. That's
There's
a
no
hero.
way.
So when you look at Saka and all those boys there, and because here's the thing, this is the country you represent. This is
Yeah.
England.
Yeah.
You can't fool it. This is England.
Yeah.
Yes, Saka's 19 and he missed a penalty, and everybody wants to say we should protect him because of the racial tweets.
Yeah.
But my boy, when he was 20, police put a gun on him in Surrey because he was a black boy in Surrey.
My goodness.
Right. And he was on some. He said at first I thought it was because they were undercover. And he said at first I thought they were just a couple.
Yeah.
And she was like, stop. And he was like, don't chat to me. He said the guy gets out the car. He's thinking, tell your man I'm going to about to knock him out type vibe. Guy pulls out the gun. He said he froze.
Sugar.
He said he started begging. Right? And they did the whole, we've had a few robberies in the area and that's why And he, you go through that thing of, everyone's like, we have to report or whatever. But when he got home, he said to me, he broke down and cried. Hey, you know what was killing about it? It reminded me of that scene in Boys in the Hood.
Yeah.
Where Trey comes home. When I first watched that, I was laughing my ass off like, nigga,
And he's
that's
punching
about
air.
overreacting. Yeah, be an overreaction. And then Don't Be a Menace While Drinking Your Juice made it even more of a parody.
Yeah.
But until he told me that story, then I realized what that guy was feeling.
Yeah.
When you feel like you have no voice or power.
Yeah.
And this is a grown kid. Well, he's 20.
Yeah.
But he's had to experience a gun in front of him and he didn't know what to do.
You know what? I actually had a movie idea over the weekend. It was kind of based off the fact that I was watching Bad Company.
Chris Rock and
Chris Rock one, yeah,
which is
with
it should be
Anthony
called Bad
Hopkins.
Movie.
This guy.
It's just what it should be called.
Why are you so
But
cantankerous, bro?
Chris Rock said it was bad.
Okay.
He said on the set, yeah, he kept on telling the director the script needs work, and the director was like, "Do you know Terminator 2? They hadn't finished the script by the time they even started shooting." He's like, "Okay." He said he'll call to him again the next day. Yo, man, the script needs work. You tell him another film. Do you know Top Gun? They hadn't finished. He said after I just realized every time he told him, he would just tell him another film. So he
That's
just stopped
funny.
telling him. It's hilarious.
That's
You know
funny,
when the man finesses you,
Yeah,
he's just finessing him the whole time. with great movies, by the way.
You know,
If you said-
Godfather.
Oh,
After that was improv. It was improv.
They hadn't even cast it by the time they started shooting. You ain't mad this thing. If you said, you know breakdance? Okay, no breakdance. Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction, they didn't even cast John Travolta. He just showed up on set.
Yeah, he was just bored that day.
He was bored that
so
day.
He just gave it like mad feedback.
That's
What gonna
funny.
say?
So with Bad Company, I was like, there's a few movies in that vein. Whether it was the 80s or the 90s, there was a time where white establishment basically would go and find someone who was from the hood with street smarts, and their street smarts were applicable to like high society. So it's like either they become a spy or like in Trading Places.
But they still wear Jordans just to keep it real.
I mean, in Trading Places, they gave him the full get up, and he, flipping becomes
esteemed.
Just like Randolph and Mortimer. But the whole point was
is that subtle message saying be white?
Well, it was more like. Well, that's the thing. It depends how you look at it. You can say, look, essentially, the moral of the story is you need us to fully actualize, because Chris Rock's character in this was basically a bum who was about to lose his girl until these white guys showed up and gave him an opportunity.
CIA agent.
Yeah, but he liked skiing and jazz and classical or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like they were trying. They didn't say it like that.
Caricatures, boy.
Yeah, it was terrible caricatures. There's terrible caricatures. But I mean, he had a black girlfriend, so give him that.
Hey,
but anyway,
if that was Chris's only, listen, I don't mind. I just gotta get a black girlfriend. You just gotta give me a sister.
Yo, they had some fire sisters in the movies back then. But anyway, that's not the point.
And they're still working.
I don't know. I don't even know.
Do you think there was a fine sisters?
I mean, Kerry Washington was his girlfriend.
You think there was a fine sisters in the movies agency?
Of course there was. Bro.
Hello,
what do you mean?
Get some fine sisters in this movie?
What do you mean? What do you mean, bro? So yeah, essentially, there's always this moment where they go and like recruit someone from the hood because they have a special set of skills that is gonna help the bank or help the country or whatever it is, right? So I was like, we should do an anticlimactic version of that.
Why an anticlimactic one? Why can't it climax?
Because what those movies sell is that like basically if you happen to have the right set of skills, we might accept you. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like
so
at the beginning of the movie of Bad Company, the CIA director guy is basically treating him like he's expendable. Like let's just use him. And by the end of it, it's like he's so valuable that they're like, oh, we need him for this, and they come and like pay for his honeymoon and stuff like that. All kinds of like,
it's funny. The flip side,
non-realistic outcomes. And so what I'm saying is that there should be one where it's like they go get him and he serves. He gets all the way there. He helps them complete the mission,
and they frame him for murder.
And and it's still not good enough.
Yeah,
and it's still not good enough
because that's the low, man. We giving out gems on the podcast. I like that
because that's exactly the journey of these football players.
Yeah,
bro. When Raheem Sterling was the only one scoring, it was just like, look at our team go.
Was it? It wasn't though.
It was like, look.
But even when they miss, it was look at our team go. You're just highlighting on the small tweets that were racist.
True, but I'm saying
because they were always there.
Really?
Because the papers weren't recording that. They said he escaped the mean streets of Jamaica. So what are we talking about?
I mean,
was it always behind him? Because they weren't. The nation was never always behind. Well, let me put it to you like this way. As I said on my Facebook, as a minority, you're tolerated, not accepted. So they're happy for him to behave well in uniform.
Yeah.
The moment he doesn't behave well in uniform is where the spanking comes. So I'll give you an example. Jack Grealish can literally pee on a fan and they'll be like, he's our Jack. Sterling can't do that.
Yeah.
And that's the difference.
Yeah.
So they can always get the same love, the same appreciation. But it's like, and I'm going to bring you to my Tupac quote on this one, bruh.
Okay, I'm waiting on this.
Pac said, this is a really deep song. He said, if I choose to ride, thugging to the day I die, they don't give a fuck about us. But when I start to rise, a hero in their children's minds, now they give a fuck about us. Ooh. Do you know how mad that is?
Ooh.
He said that. In another verse, he said the same thing. If I choose to ride, thugging to the day I die, they don't give a fuck about us. But when I'm kicking rhymes, getting into their children's minds, now they give a fuck about us. A woman said, her son loves football. He's got into the whole young kid. He's got into the whole way with it. He took over the nation. He said every time he goes to play in the garden, he takes the knee before they play football. First of all, I was on the floor when I heard that. When I heard that, I was on the floor. Then she asked him, why are you taking the knee? He said, to help black people. I fell out the window on that one. But it was so, that was so real to him.
Do you know?
So when she hears that from her son, it's so pure. So when she hears that from her son, like he said, now she has to think about black people. because her son is seeing it. Because
My
Bukayo
goodness.
Saka's a hero to him.
Yeah.
Sterling's a hero to him. So
Yeah.
now they have to give a fuck.
That's funny, bro.
Crazy.
Can you imagine at the beginning of playtime, it's like, hey, you man just kicking the ball.
Man, you
And we're going to take the knee.
But your black boy have suffered for 400 years, you know. The least you could do is kneel. But the thing is, the whole... We had Priti Patel, you know,
I
saying...
bet you sure as hell that England cricket team ain't about to kneel.
But here's the thing.
I bet you the polo teams ain't about to kneel.
I'm not... Well, the Olympics. Anyway, the thing is this. Taking the knee now is played out.
Yeah.
And it was played out the moment they brought it in. Because when taking a stunt... You don't take a stunt when it's popular. You're just joining in.
Yeah, because the man damn near lost his whole career.
And his whole life! Where were all of you?
Bruh.
You know the worst part? They don't even take a knee. The knee should be taking a knee in solidarity with Colin Kaepernick, not
Yeah.
Black Lives Matter.
Yeah.
It should be for Colin.
For Colin, 100%.
Because he took the whole L.
He took the whole L for every... I mean, he was getting paid. He was making money, but...
No, but
like,
he's lost his career.
But, I mean, yeah, he lost his
Couldn't
career.
play NFL no more. Simply why? Because, like Massa said, this is my house.
Yeah.
These are my rules.
Yep.
And the thing about being a minority...
Everyone watched him like, ooh, could not be me.
And
And
you know,
then-
and hey, Ola, it was plantation games, you know.
It was
You know when that runaway,
plantation games.
you know when that runaway would
Yeah.
run away and they catch him. What would they do? They hang him in front of everybody, for
like-
6 days.
Like, could not be me, man.
So you're like this. I ain't running nowhere. And that's what they
I
did to
ain't
Kaepernick.
even running to the toilet, man. I'm a
And
walk.
you know the new contracts put some shit in there, some small print that they would never have because they understood
course.
our whole league is black. We like this guy force our hand. What's next? Yo, we want more honeys in the shower when we playing. You know? So
Bro, come on.
I'm just being
That's
stupid
sad.
in here. But
Can you imagine if after all of that, look, it's like,
alright.
we've got some new favourable terms. Black people, we will get our...
Do you know what I mean? So it's just a case of with the whole. I understood the feeling. I can't lie to you, man. I watched it at home with my boy Caleb. Shout out to Caleb, and we did want England to lose.
Oh, no way.
But here's the worst part. Yeah, I said to him, I said, if it goes to penalties, I want all the black boys to miss, so the headlines can say niggas cost us the tournament, and we all laughed and like joke, they all missed.
Bro, it was you.
It was man, no, it wasn't me.
You
They
willed
missed
it,
their own
bro.
penalties.
You
But here's the thing.
manifested it, bro.
Here's the thing. We have to get
This
past. We have to get past the place where we are afraid to let Massa down because we're gonna get a spanking. We have to get past that feeling.
It's not that. It's not like afraid to let Massa
But how
down.
can you watch a penalty shootout and your only praise, please, black boys don't miss? Isn't that insanity?
I mean, there's an element of that.
Of course, that's
100%.
trauma, bro.
There is. Yeah, there's definitely trauma. There's
I
definitely
don't even
trauma
know those
responsible.
guys,
But
and
there's
I'm praying they don't miss a penalty.
There's also an element to which, you know, when young black boys see their reflection doing well on the screen or what they what they see in themselves, you know, that is something that means something, especially to a lot of children.
But that
as
moment
well.
can't break that. That one moment can't break that.
It can't break that.
One
but it
moment
can
cannot break that.
contribute.
No, it
contribute.
cannot. It cannot. There's two. Life is about ups and downs.
Bro,
That's a lesson.
Me
there.
watching Babatunde do stand up
That's different.
made me want to do stand
Yeah,
up.
but
right?
he,
Made me feel like
okay,
I could do
he
stand
played.
up.
Okay, Sterling scored 3 goals in the tournament, so you can play football. Just
Yeah.
because he missed a penalty, you're like, I can't do this no more.
No, not like that. What I'm saying is those 3 goals definitely contributed. The penalties, you know, has a negative impact.
No,
And I'm
it
saying that
doesn't.
if
It
they
actually
had won the
doesn't.
game-
It doesn't. The only negative thing is England lost. Because even if those black boys didn't miss a penalty and the white boys did, that's not a positive.
Yeah, but okay. Finally, my final point is this: when black guys do well, it's not necessarily all of our success because we don't get a share of the money or nothing. But what it does in terms of, you know, what kids see and what people see in general, but kids more specifically, I think kids are more impressionable. I think they constantly take positive and negative impact on their self-reflection based on what they see being portrayed. And I think if the game had been won,
It's the same for white kids.
I think to a certain extent,
So
yeah.
if the white kids felt the same about the black boys,
I think
missing the
I
penalty,
think
or
white
you think the white kids don't? When the white kids
I
watch a
think
penalty
white people-
shootout, do they watch it thinking, "I hope Harry Kane doesn't miss because I'm white, or
No.
because England will lose the tournament"?
No, I think white people have a slightly different situation in this country, which is that there's so much media reflection of them that they can even then start to break it down, not specifically based on the fact that I'm white, but based on the fact that like Liverpool, you know what I'm saying? I'm from Liverpool. I'm a Scouser. If a Scouser does well, then I feel connected to that. And, you know, there are people who are like, oh, he's a working class hero, or, you know, whatever subset of it that they have, because they have so much media. But I think in terms of black people, we don't have as much. I mean, there's a decent amount.
Yeah,
there's a decent
we
amount.
do.
But we don't have enough that we can necessarily break it down. There's still, black is still like almost like the indivisible building block. We haven't got to the point where we have like, well, he's black middle class and he's black working class, or he's black this and black that.
Haven't
We just
we?
kind
They
of
have that in America. They have the boule in America.
Yeah, in America,
Middle
they
class.
have enough black media that they can start to separate.
Yeah.
That they can start to
But
say,
why
okay,
do you need to
this is...
separate though?
Because the truth is, at the end of the day, black is way too general for us to all ascribe to this one narrative. Really and truly, you know, what Big Nasty does on TV has very little relevance to my day-to-day life. But
So does Saka missing the penalty.
Pardon?
So does Saka missing the penalty.
Well, I mean, ideally, yes. Ideally, that would be the case. But, you know, if, let's say, my son now is growing up to, and he likes playing football, whatever it is, the impact of seeing Saka, you know, let's say, do well is him basically wanting to buy the shirt, and when he's playing football with his friends, he scores, and he's like, you know, he starts running around like he's Saka or whatever it is. Like, it's that kind of, like when people take a shot and they go Kobe, like that's the impact of seeing somebody who you admire in that way, is that you then to start to ascribe some of their greatness to yourself. And it can be positive, obviously, when it doesn't get to the point of worshipping them. And I'm just saying that, like, when it's something negative, and especially the added
missing
narrative
the penalty
in the media.
is not negative. It's what can happen in a football game. It's not actually a negative. What everyone has done is taken that moment and used it to say, use it to bring out the fears that we've always had. Like, once you're black, if you do something wrong, which missing the penalty is not wrong. It's not wrong. But if you do something wrong,
It's all right, though.
no, but if you watch a football game, you can miss a penalty, you can miss an open goal, you can get sent off, you can handball it. There's so many things that can happen.
Yeah.
It's just in the thing of
There
football.
are good things and there are bad things, right?
Missing a penalty is not a bad thing in the penalty shootout. It can happen, especially if you're 1-on-1 with a keeper. Now,
It
if
can
it was in
happen,
the
but it doesn't
game,
make it
if it was in the
not
game,
bad.
if it was in the game,
Yeah.
and they were playing in the game, and he missed a penalty that could have won them the game, I understand that, because you had a penalty in the game. In a penalty shootout, it's like this is a penalty shootout. It's like me flipping a coin and saying, let's guess head or tails. That is a penalty shootout. It's got nothing to do with skill, nothing to do with football, just your guts and your ball. Because you're standing 1-on-1 with a keeper. Did you see the size of the goalkeeper to Saka?
Yeah.
It looked like he said, give me the ball.
Yeah. No,
And also Saka's young and he's never taken a penalty before.
Yeah.
In that level, I guess. And he's left footed. He stood to the right hand side of the ball, which showed he was going to go to the right.
Yeah.
So the keeper read him immediately. That's all
Went
experience.
to the right for like almost all the shots anyway.
Rashford sold him, and so did Maguire.
Yeah. But
Rashford sold him, so did Maguire. Sancho, I'm
but
surprised
he still went to the right though. Even for Rashford's shot.
he went to the right. No,
still
but
went to the right,
Thingy sold him. Maguire took top bins, and Kane. He went to the left with Kane.
Okay.
Yeah, Kane and Harry, to two Harrys, he went to the left.
Yeah.
The blacks, he went to the right. We need to Google why he did that. Can you see that? How come when the blacks, he went to the right, but with the white people, he went to the left?
Oh, bro.
But what I'm saying in the package is,
Yeah, man.
you have to understand, there's a lesson in understanding that when you're black, okay, you don't owe anybody nothing. You don't have to be good. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be anything other than a human being, because that's how God created all of us. And so we have to stop living according to the highest standard of man. It's just too much pressure. So I can't watch a penalty shootout. Let's say I was supporting England. I'm supposed to watch a penalty shootout with the pressure of the nation winning the tournament. The black guys come up, my chest starts. If they miss, we're gonna get shot in the streets. I can't. There's no need for that.
Yeah, just say it like that.
There's no need for that.
Yeah, I know.
Because
I
saw
mean,
the England
100%.
fans and how they felt when the penalties missed. Right?
Yeah.
Imagine you're in the stadium and you're feeling what they're feeling. We've just lost a tournament, but in your back of your mind, like, these niggas, damn, they ain't make it hard for me for this week.
I mean, you know, it's mad, especially because, you know, Southgate being the manager and him famously missing penalty in the Euros is like, it's that serendipity, and then there's obviously this opportunity to now
can
start
I just-
comparing and stuff.
But can I just say to
But-
everybody, yeah, football's not a fairy tale, I know,
It really isn't.
I know
You're
these
right.
stories. Yeah, I think people think football's a fairy tale.
Yeah.
People were bringing all these side stories, Oh, we after all the COVID we've had, everybody had COVID.
Bro, the
What, you
Italians
think-
had COVID. They had
You think-
COVID,
Bruv,
bro.
Vialli, he's a famous Italian player.
Yeah.
Had cancer. He just fought cancer. He was at the back. It meant everything to him as well.
Bruh.
Football's not a fairy tale.
Yo, for real,
This is
man. It
this
really
is
isn't.
one pastor was like, God, England are going to win today.
Yeah,
I said, I know one thing for sure in life. God is not a fan of football.
God, yeah, I mean,
If God was a fan of football, Nigeria would have won 17 World Cups by now.
bro.
On prayer alone. So I know God's not a fan of football. The Bible
I'm not even
says,
sure if Nigeria could have won 17. Is Nigeria old enough to win 17?
well, all I'm saying is this, the way we know God personally. The way we
Yeah.
know God. Nigeria will win a World Cup and say, we want to thank God. God, can you just come down from heaven quickly so you can hold the trophy? Like, we will bring that kind of energy.
Of course,
But
bro.
football's not, like even the Saka. Did you see when he pulled Saka back?
Bro, that was disgusting, bro.
Was it?
That was disgusting.
That was great. This thing is that you don't watch football. Hey, this is me. Mwah. You know why?
Hey, but you're a deep cynic, bro.
No, I'm a fan. I'm a fan. Hey. You think that was bad? He pulled his shirt back, and Saka, flopped back, and he pulled his shirt. Hey, if that was running, he'd have kicked him in the thigh. Because you know why? I'm not saying he got yellow for it. It was a stupid. He made the mistake and he had to rectify it.
Yeah.
But everybody knows you take one for the team. You don't let him go.
Yeah. I knew why he did it.
And one guy was like to me,
But
how
it was
can
filthy,
a grown man do that to a young kid? I said, because football's a
Come on,
grown man's
yeah,
game.
Bro, everybody's grown man on the pitch. You
Bro!
can't be like, oh, no, let's sack him.
Bro!
No.
Jordan.
Not that.
When them rookies come into the league, you think Michael Jordan's saying, just they're elbowing them, they're pushing them. What are you going to do? Tell the ref, Jordan elbowed me. The ref's just going to look at you. So,
Bro,
this is
get
Jordan's
that.
court.
I'm just saying that it's like, it's what Gary Lineker always refers to as the dark arts.
Yes.
It was the dark arts side of
Wasn't
football.
Sterling the dark arts to get him to the finals?
I'm not sure if that was dark arts.
That was a
'cause
dive.
He was skipping around.
Nah, he dived. He dived. Everybody said it was not a penalty. It's never a penalty. If that happened to England, they'll lose their mind. It was a home penalty. But the home team, just give the penalty. That was never a penalty. It was never a penalty. Not in the semi-finals of a European tournament. That was never a penalty. If you're going to give a penalty, it has to be clear cut. And that was never a penalty. But he won it. And it happens. Like you said, it's the dark arts.
the dark
He
arts,
knew if he fell himself to the ground, he knew if he fell down, they're going to at least review a penalty. At least review it. So,
It looked
it's all
kind of
game
penalty.
shit. Of course, because he's running, but there was no challenge. It's just one of them ones where he falls down. Make sure, because he's running at speed. If you look at it again, he did it against Italy, where he ran at speed. And they both put their hands there and he fell down, but they said no penalty. Because you're not going to give it in the final.
Bruh.
If it was a penalty, it was one of them soft ones. Like, come on, bruh. Like, you're giving a penalty for that in a final? If that was like a Man United versus Newcastle game, you get those penalties. Because Man United are the home team, and Ferguson's going to follow you home if you don't give the penalty. You understand?
I don't even know
So
what
England
Fergie
got
was doing
that
back then,
because
but
they're
Fergie was
Wembley.
running up on
Oh,
ref,
Fergie went
bro.
to a referee and told him 4 minutes of stoppage time and walked off. The guy put on 4 minutes. Man United scored in stoppage time. And so
That
here's
guy
the
was a
thing. You
gangster,
talk about the dark arts. Everybody plays it. Everybody. Managers do it. Players do it. You have to. It's about winning, bro.
Yeah.
Stakes is high.
Yeah, stakes are high, bro.
You understand?
Stakes
Stakes are high.
are high. It was painful to see, obviously, because I wanted England to win. And it was just, it just looked nasty. The way he did it, just like, get back here.
Oh, no,
boy.
he was never going to let him go. He
Yeah.
looked at his legs. That's Saka. He's 19. I can't catch him. Come here. Ended that
Get
noise.
over here.
And the thing is, yeah, the whole game, I mean, Italy were the better team. And, they were the best team in the tournament. So them winning it is no surprise.
Yeah, it's no surprise. But, like, I felt like if England had won it, I wouldn't have said, like, Italy were robbed. I think England were in good form and had good chances.
Did you watch the game?
Yeah. I mean, they had there's definitely terrible moments, but I'm saying
No,
that
the England they had 2 shots on goal.
they had some very good moments where, like, the build-up play was like, okay, these guys could actually do something.
They had 2 shots on goal.
And they always
They had 2 shots
they
on goal.
always stay there ahead in terms of the
They had
fact
2
that,
shots on goal.
bro.
They had 2 shots on goal. One was the goal, and the other one was a Harry Kane attempt, I think. No, Harry Kane had 2 touches.
Yeah, but sometimes those
I don't know if you
numbers,
watched the second half.
I know the
England were terrible. in the second half.
No, they started off terrible.
They started off brilliant in the first 20 minutes. They were brilliant. And after that, once Italy, they scored in the first 3 minutes, and they had Italy on the back foot with Harry Kane dropping deep. They didn't know what to do.
In the beginning of the second half.
The whole second
They
half
were
and extra
terrible,
time.
but then they
Second
started
half
picking
they
it-
were
started putting it back
awful.
together.
No, second half they were awful because they conceded the goal in second half.
I know that's what the way you conceded at the beginning, right?
No, they
It was like 60-something minutes.
Yeah, that's not the beginning. 67,
It's like
62
mid,
minutes.
okay, like mid. But I'm saying that essentially, they always do rubbish. Yeah, then something happens and they start pulling it together for some reason.
I
thought they
don't
were really
know.
putting
I
it
don't know,
together.
man. From what we watched, from what everyone's saying, they didn't play. Italy played better than them. They just didn't play well enough. They didn't create chances. They sat back too deep. They went into a shape of trying to protect the goal, which is what they've done all tournament, which is fair. But it wasn't always gonna. Once Italy scored, you're gonna have to do something different. And he didn't change anything until extra time, or maybe just before extra time. Actually, no, he changed it just before the goal, and he brought on Saka for Trippier. But he didn't utilize his bench. He had way more attacking threats that could have caused Italy more problems, especially in the latter stages, because them men are tired. You got people like Rashford and Sancho who can run. You just bring them on and let them cause problems.
Yeah.
But, you know, he showed his naivety in that sense of not making key changes at key moments. And the penalty selection was terrible.
Yeah, penalty selection was.
I know Sterling said, nah, I'm not on it.
Yeah, I mean,
He said, nah, I'm not on it. He said, nah, I'm
Sterling
on
not
it.
being there. I mean, I think should have also taken one.
Grealish.
Grealish should have taken one. For real.
Because even Harry Maguire stepped up, man.
Harry Maguire.
Stepped up. You
And
know,
scored,
people like,
bro.
you know, why didn't Harry Kane take the last penalty? I was like, look, you saw what those three niggas did. He probably wouldn't get to him. Because you know what you do as the captain, as the leader of the team, you got to step up first.
Yeah.
You bang that penalty in, you give your troops to, okay, he's on it.
Yeah,
In the World Cup finals, Messi lost in the finals to Germany.
Yeah.
But in the semis, to get them to the final, they had a penalty shooter. I can't remember who was who. And they had, you know, they always have a huddle before. Zabaleta, who used to play for Man City, or Mascherano, one of those two. They were the older statesmen in the team.
Yeah.
Or at least Zabaleta anyway. He was giving the team talk hard. But he's not the captain. Messi's the captain. Messi was just turning around, looking outside somewhere there. In the studio, they're like, you know, he should be the one in the thick of it, giving it da-da-da-da-da-da. But if anyone that's watched Messi's play, he's not a vocal person. That's not how he leads. Penalty shootout comes. He's the first one up. Top corner. And then he walked off. And that's how he led them. Because they didn't miss a penalty after that.
That's how. There are many ways to lead. Bro.
Many ways to lead.
Many ways to
You
lead.
see what I'm saying? So Harry Kane did the right thing by going up first and saying, boom. Shout out to Messi, won the Copa America of Argentina, his first international trophy, and now everyone can shut the fuck up.
Are you a big?
Messi's the greatest football player of all time. He's the best he's the best person to ever play football. It's just no debate.
All time.
Yeah, it's no debate.
So you don't even do like the Ronaldo Messi debate. You don't even do that one.
That's not that.
Like, we're
Ronaldo's-
talking like Pele. We're talking.
Yeah. They just don't have the. Don't get it twisted. They laid the foundations for us to get someone like a Messi now.
Yeah.
Because football's changed now, and it favors people like him so much. We like we want them to play. You know, he scores so many goals, so they laid the foundations for that. Goals and desires were different then. You didn't play as much as Ronaldo and Messi want to play now. You didn't win as much as they want to win now. So it's different in that sense. But when you look at it from just his ability and what he's done in the game, there's no person that can be greater. We can argue ability. Do I think Maradona's as talented as Messi? Yeah. Ronaldinho, Zidane, Big Ron, even Cristiano, they all have the base level talent that Messi has. They do, but what Messi did with that talent is too much.
Bro, we're slowly becoming a football podcast, bro.
Which is what was more of the Euros and the mood, and he didn't come home.
Yeah, but bro,
And Priti Patel, you know, being disgusted at the tweets, and then you know Eniola Aluko, she said she's coming off Twitter.
Yeah.
To,
Bro, don't be shady.
no, I'm just what she's
Don't
fighting.
be shady.
She's fighting racism. That's what she's coming off. Huh? Huh? You know, Twitter had to be reminded of it. She's gone. Someone had to tweet Twitter to let them know.
Shady, bro. That's
But come
so
on,
shady.
man.
I know what you mean, because sometimes it does, like, when someone takes a stand like that, it seems empty. But at the beginning, like, everyone just has to do what's according to their conscience, right?
Yeah.
And so it's like, I respect it. Fine, do it.
Do it, but don't rope me in,
We
bro.
didn't raise up a black flag or nothing like, oh my goodness, Eddie's gone. But at the same time, I respect it in the sense that, like, If that's what your conscience says, don't take part in it. And if your conscience says, look, this country is too much blood in his hand, I'm leaving the country, fine. If your conscience says, I'm staying in this country, fine. Like,
but I'm just questioning, you know, how did you say you're gonna come up on it? You can't be on an institution that you're against in the sense of they don't do anything about racism. Then you'd have to leave this country.
that's the point I was getting to.
You'd have to honestly walk away from the country.
Bro, there's nowhere on this earth that's gonna be 100% lined up with your morals. So everyone has to get comfortable with whatever it is that is against their morals. And the truth is, everywhere you go, you're gonna make some kind of compromise.
I mean, and I think it's rich when you know, like Thierry Henry says, you know, we should come off Twitter. You just say, who's we?
Bro,
your Twitter and my Twitter, two different Twitters,
two different Twitters, bro.
Two different Twitters, bro. Hey, I come off Twitter, my business gonna be affected,
bro.
I don't come back to Twitter and those photos have missed me so much. Henry come back to Twitter today and post a picture, it's 1 million likes. Yeah. I go to Twitter for 2 weeks and post a picture, that's it.
You've been listening to that Dissect podcast, bro?
I have not, no.
Oh, bro, man.
I haven't had the time to listen to a podcast, to be honest with you.
For real?
Yeah, man. I've been working a lot of what's the word? I'm doing a lot behind the scenes. So
okay, then we there.
I'm doing heavy lifting. You know the heavy lifting?
Yeah.
Why do they call that the heavy lifting?
Yeah, because it's the unglamorous, sexy, hard work part.
It's going to training and shooting free throws every morning.
Yeah, man.
And a coach telling you when you get in the game, and you're just like, when is this game coming, man?
What is heavy lifting for you, though, bro?
Just the work that's not glamorous. It's not cool. It's learning. It's frustrating. It's dealing with, you know, people's it's dealing with, you know, people's attitudes toward everything.
Okay.
And I've learned in this game, you know, not to take anything personal and to always follow someone's actions as opposed to their words.
Yeah.
Like your energy will tell me if you're about what you're saying or not.
Of course.
And so I've learned that a lot in this process. I've also learned that, to quote Denzel Washington in Training Day, when he asked Jake to shoot the guy, he was like, "No, I'm not going to shoot him." He goes, "Yeah, you want to get shit done, you got to get it done yourself." They said the line. That's facts in life. You want to get shit done, you got to get it done yourself. And no one's going to care about what you care about more than you care about it. That's 3 cares. No one's going to care about what you care about more than you care about it. 3 cares.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, I feel you 100%, man.
You know,
that's why sometimes, you know, when people come out the woodworks and be like, "Oh, what's going on? You're still doing comedy, yeah?" I'm like, man, I get it. I understand why you say that because you only see me as the client facing, you know, front page person. But there's a lot of behind the scenes stuff, and sometimes it's hard to explain. You know, if somebody says I'm a full-time comic, you're like, "Yeah, you work 20 minutes a night." It's like, okay, fine, that's what you see, but you know, if you're doing it properly anyway, there should be a lot of work going on behind the scenes that's not really as glamorous.
When you're trying to build, like you say, you know, when you're trying to build something to last, it takes longer than when you're trying to.
Yeah. If you're just trying to think, then you can just do 20 minutes.
Right. But when you're trying to build something that lasts, it takes a lot of reflection, a lot of thinking, a lot of planning, a lot of thinking ahead. You know, seeing, you know, people ask me, you know, I think I was at a barbecue. And this girl said, because I just said something funny or something like that. And she goes, "Are you a teacher or something?" This is me. No, I'm a comedian. She goes, "No, you're not." So I was like, okay. Like, I'm going to come to a barbecue and lie. That's what I do in my spare time. I go to barbecues.
That's the whole hustle right there.
And tell motherfuckers I'm a comedian. And when they say no, you're not, I'm like, "God, you smart. How you get me? What gave you away?"
Yeah, you caught me. You're right. I'm a teacher.
So she's like, "You must be a teacher or something." This is me. Why? Because you've been saying funny stuff. Because it was my friend's birthday, right? And we're older now, anyway. We're now elder years.
Okay.
Not elder years, but we're getting older. And, you know, they were playing all the, you know, 90s R&B. And these heifers have been drinking. So they were drunk. Not drunk, but tipsy, just doing it. Hey. So I was like, "You're old."
Yeah.
So I'm the guy in there just hating it. "You're old." They're like, "Well, no old." She was like, "Don't say we're old." So I was just like, you know, but funny, innit?
Yeah.
And people forget as well. People think comedians are comedians all the time.
Yeah.
They don't understand an element of. So, for instance, you know, you have a friend who's naturally funny.
Yeah.
You can have a boy that's naturally funny.
Yeah.
Every time he talks, you just laugh.
Yeah.
But they don't assume he's a comedian or trying to do a show.
Yeah.
The moment I do it, "Oh, stop trying to perform to us." What?
Bro, relax, man. Relax.
Like one boy's like, "Oh, don't use me in your jokes. This is me. Your life is not that interesting. It's just never been that interesting.
Everyone thinks they're about to end up in my... Bruh.
Life is not that interesting.
No, it's not that deep, bro.
It's not that interesting.
It's not that deep.
And
The
if
amount
I
of people...
ever get to the point where I'm thinking I have to write about your life, then I have to try harder to look for more material. But yeah, at the barbecue, she just couldn't believe I was a comedian, and then I showed her my profile. But by the way, the girl who
Why did you show it to her though?
because she didn't because she said I look like tricks as well.
Oh, God.
So I said to her, "Look, this is what I do. I'm a comedian. What else am I gonna do? Just tell her no."
Just be
Plus,
like,
I called her
cool,
friend.
Don't believe me then.
I called my friend whose barbecue was, and I said,
Yeah.
"Tell her what I do." She said, "Yeah, for me, as a comedian. Like they've all been to my shows, so
Yeah.
it's like why would I make it up?"
Exactly.
But it's just a weird thing. Before it took me a while to be able to say I was a comedian.
Yeah, I hear that. Bro.
Not because I was or anything. I just didn't want to have to discuss anything that followed after it. Because some questions were like, "So do you?" I had 3 shows that night.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Oh my God, so do you?" And I just had to explain, it's good to start for all the youngers listening, the young aspiring comics out there.
Who listen to Boys Club
It's the Boys Club podcast. If you're doing 3 shows in one night, I'm not saying tank the first show, but don't kill it to the point where you think you're on the high now, then you go to the next show. And here's the thing, the next show is not bad.
Yeah.
It's just not as good as that.
Pace yourself. Pace yourself is what it is.
Don't bust that nut so hard in the first round.
Yeah. If you're doing a matinee, the matinee show is usually like the warm up for
the main
show.
You know what though? Also, don't save it for the last though. That last might not be the right ass. might not be as good as you thought it was gonna be.
Just do well at your shows, bro.
So
but
the middle one,
pace yourself.
is where you kill it, but you don't kill it.
This guy, bro,
you kill it,
make it
but
less and less.
you have enough evil inside to kill the next one, if needed be. But here's the trick: if the third one's being stush, acting like she don't wanna see it tonight,
Bro, this is the hell specific.
then you can hold back. You know what I mean? If she ain't want it, you have 2 options. You could either, give her the dick, or you could be like this. You know what? This ain't even for you, and pull back. Because I already had a good time 2 nights before. You know what I mean? That's how I reason.
Bro, that was the most convoluted.
I can't lie though. The third show,
to listen to this and like
the first show was good. It got good. One side of the room was laughing, the other side was not. So
sometimes
I just said,
sometimes just be geographical.
Right. So I just said, this side of the room's weird.
Yeah.
And this side started laughing. So I created a competition.
Of course you do.
Between them.
That's how you do it.
Next thing you know, they were giving it the big
You're
laughs.
a genius, bro. What do you mean?
Well, people don't understand how I be
This is
working
stagecraft
these shows,
right here, man. It's
That's called stage
divide and conquer,
experience.
bro. It's divide and conquer.
Oh,
It's very simple.
I'm so comfortable on stage now to come out of character and just chat with the audience. Like now they're doing these things. They're doing like the American shows now, where the bartenders literally, the bar guys are coming with the drinks.
Oh yeah, they need to get all that
chipping
COVID
pin.
money back.
Right. So this motherfucker walks to the front.
Yeah.
So they've just introduced me on. You gotta do something. I was like, yeah, let me get a rum and coke with that, bro. Same for it, man. He just threw it in there. Everybody laughed. They enjoyed it.
Yeah,
he can freestyle.
He's so in the moment, it's amazing because he could tell that he had prepared material, but he also was so present that he was able to deal with things as it happened in the room.
To everybody listening to this podcast right now, I'm gonna burst your bubble. Nothing is rare. Listen, when we find something rare on stage, we're just as surprised as you are. But if it comes in comfortable like we fought off the top, we plan that shit.
Bruh,
when you stumble on good material, you spend the next 5 minutes. What did I say to him? What was I saying to them? And you're still talking, by the way. But you're thinking, hey, I can't let that gold moment go.
Bruh.
You ain't out there flexing after that.
Bruh, it's for real. That's a big point right there, man. You can't let those situations just fly by. I start looking like, how can I rework this situation to happen again?
While you're still on stage.
While you're on stage.
Your whole set is irrelevant now. I got new shit to go.
Bruh.
When you stumble on something real, when you say something naturally, my God. The worst part is when you say it naturally and they laugh, and then you try it over and over and over, and no one's laughing no more. It's like the reformatted version is just not going to work.
Bro, I'm telling you, sometimes the magic just hits one time. And sometimes you really stumble on gold.
Yes.
Do you know what? The best ones for me are where I write a joke and I think I know where the punchlines are.
Yeah.
And everyone seems to laugh in a new place.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, that line's funny.
Yeah.
Okay, I go to the next show like, oh, y'all gonna laugh right here.
Yeah.
And I got new swag on it and so on.
Yeah.
For me, like that's what I'm constantly looking at, like, how
I
can
think
I
if you're in the
fine-tune
moment
that?
with your own material, you'd be surprised. That's why, I respect what Jerry Seinfeld said about, doing old material. Because the funny thing is, the more you do, the more you're comfortable with a joke, the more places you can take it.
Yeah,
Because you're so comfortable with just freestyling with it.
yeah.
So, like, when I did the Paralympics is up next. You guys watching the Paralympics? Yeah.
It's the right thing to do.
I don't know I don't know why I said that time, but it fell out. And the reaction was so strong.
It's rude, bro.
Bruh, now I just do it with the whole, it's the right thing to do, isn't it? And I still don't understand why it's funny.
Bro, you know why it's funny.
Why?
Yeah? To say that it's the right thing to do kind of capitalizes on like this idea that everyone has a hidden guilt that around disabled people, that we know it's not going to be as let me not say impressive. It's not going to be.
That's what you're saying, though. No, you got to say no. Let's be real. We're douches. We're watching this.
No, because the Paralympics it can be more impressive than the Olympics when you look at some of the people and what they're doing. You're like, okay, that particular event.
So what we're saying is, if they were not disabled, it's the same thing, though. We're saying because disabled, this is impressive for a disabled person. It's like a white person singing.
No, so I'm saying some of the events, right?
Good voices. Sorry.
Some of the events are genuinely impressive. The fact that you have this level of athleticism, you're going this fast, blah, 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 it's amazing. Then some of them, it's just like I think they do blind football or something like that.
Do they?
I think they have blind football in the Paralympics.
Like bird box type football.
It's like this. I think there's like a sound inside the ball, and I don't know if I'm making this. This might be even. I feel like someone told me this. I've never watched it. I feel like there's blind football.
You never watched the Paralympics?
Nah.
Wow.
I mean,
that's cold, man.
I guess I should have, because it's the right thing to do, or what? Like,
I've never watched it either, to be fair. But I'm a cold son of a bitch anyway.
But that's funny, because as we all judge each other on that kind of thing, if you say, I don't watch the Paralympics, everyone's like, that's not right, blah, blah, blah. But it's like, what your joke did was, it was subtly just said to everybody, we're all a little bit guilty about this thing.
It's the right thing to do, isn't it?
And it's like...
And I say, you guys are good people, man. Don't change.
You have to understand that there's some sport that we watch because we want to watch sport. And then there's like aspects where it's like...
Oh, like the Women's World Cup.
There's an agenda behind it,
like the Women's World Cup.
So yeah, so like Women's World Cup, like if you like, I'm not watching Women's World Cup, it sounds like a political statement. It's like, well, why would you not watch the Women's World Cup? I bet you watched the men's one and blah, blah, blah. It's like there's a point to prove. Pardon?
The men's one's better. It is though. Okay, this is and as a thing, yeah. Everyone can play the good Samaritan. It's the right thing to do thing all they want, but the proof is in the pudding. During the Women's World Cup, how many times did we sing "It's Coming Home"?
I mean, how close were we? Did we do well? I mean,
you don't even know what happened. During the Women's World Cup, yeah, we got a question at the edge. Someone's like, "What do you think of the Women's World Cup?" So I walked to the mic. I was like, "I didn't watch that shit," and I walked off.
This nigga.
The women mad. And I had to do a joke about it, but no. My point is,
no, I was actually right. You know
what?
It's played by athletes who have visual impairments. The game uses a special ball with a bell inside.
Yeah, I heard that, but still.
Yes, I thought I was taking the piss, but no, they do like maybe not blind football, but visually impaired football.
Okay.
No, someone referred to it here as blind football. So yeah, they do blind football, right?
But I wasn't judging you.
Okay, so in a situation with that, let's be honest here. We can all be like, it's impressive that you guys can still have a game of football. It's not as impressive as when we watch football that we like watching, right? So in that situation, I just say that those guys are, they're, I guess, impressive to a certain extent within their category.
Yeah.
But some of those guys are impressive regardless of category. Like, like what you're doing is just amazing.
Who's the murderer guy? What's his name again? The South
Oscar
African
Pistorius.
Was he impressive to you with the spikes? I thought that was quite impressive.
He ended up running with the actual Olympians, right?
Yeah, he lost that one. Calm.
Of course, he's gonna lose that. But I mean, like, he was clearly good enough that, like, you know, man transcended. But that's part of the problem. Is the idea that it's like Paralympics is like here, and then like you graduate to the Olympics kind of thing. Like he was bigger than disabled sports. You know what I'm saying? Like even those ideas kind of implicitly say.
Wasn't that the aim though? To be able to, isn't that what they want to be able to do, to compete with people who don't have a disability?
I mean, that's a philosophical question we can go over from to time immemorial, because really and truly, you could say that about men and women's sports. You could say that eventually the aim should be that a woman should be so good enough that she can compete with the men.
because Pistorius ran with men, not with women.
Because what? Sorry,
Pistorius ran with men, not with women.
I know, but what I'm saying is that the fact that he came from the Paralympics with
The women
physical
can't play football
impairments.
with men because it won't work. You saw how Saka got pulled back.
Yes, yes, I did. But that's my point, though.
You know, in the corners,
the
in the
reason why
corners
we
you pull
don't
shirts.
we don't usually have able-bodied people compete with people who have disabilities because the idea is that obviously the able-bodied people would beat them and then they wouldn't have a chance to shine.
I didn't know they would beat. I didn't know he would lose though. I thought it was just I didn't know feet would be faster than the mechanics.
Well, that's the thing. And there was even some discussion about whether or not it's fair. But the truth is, these guys who've been practicing to run as fast as they can, it's a different practice from learning how to run on blades. The fact that this guy can run on blades is pretty impressive, but it's different. It's a different thing from running with your own biology, right? And running with your own body mechanic. Those guys are always going to win, right? So,
I didn't know that. I thought RoboCop would be faster.
You can't call my RoboCop.
Why not? He killed his wife. You can do that.
So is he the one disabled guy?
Cool points. He's the one disabled, man. You can shit on him all you want. No one's gonna feel bad.
There was one mad moment, bro, where I used to run comedy club with Nabil in Norbury Comedy Club.
I came.
You came. All right, cool. So I'm letting the listeners know. So there was one night. It was just the maddest night, bro. I can't remember how we got there.
Who, Pistorius?
Someone was doing a joke about Pistorius.
Oh, I thought you said how he got there. I was like, yo, Pistorius had a show?
Someone was doing a joke on stage about Oscar Pistorius. And I don't know whether it was like either like somehow we got to the point where we were singing Pistorius as like the remix of the Notorious. And the woman in the front leg had a fake leg. She pulled it off and put it up in the air, bro.
You didn't film it?
No, bro.
You didn't film it?
Bro.
That's too much.
Bro, it was the maddest moment I've ever seen in my life, bro.
That's too much.
You feel like you made that up.
Moment.
Bro, she didn't tell us before this.
What a moment.
She didn't tell us before this.
What a moment.
As we were singing Pistorius, a woman in the front row takes her leg off
that's hilarious.
and holds it up in the air.
I'd have wet myself.
I'd
have wet myself. How'd you follow that?
Bro, the room fell apart, bro.
Wow. Do you think his favorite movie was Blade? Anyway, carry on with the story.
All right, get all your Oscar Pistorius.
I remember the time.
Who's there? Bang, bang. Oh, it's Oscar Pistorius.
Oh, was that one of them?
I just made that up on the spot. But I'm just saying, like, let's get all the jokes out of the way.
There's no subtlety there. Like, that was really
I'm saying, let's get them all out. You know what I'm saying? It's a knock-knock joke.
At least the Blade one was knock-knock. Who's there? Bang, bang. The story, yeah, and it's a wonderful case of white privilege. Because, you know, I thought someone broke into my house and was so desperate they had to pee first. What kind of burglary's going on in South Africa? Bruh. Niggas is breaking into your house, going to your kitchen, making dinner and shit. Niggas is using the toilet. Like, how does that work? Oh.
And you know his house must have been like in a fancy area.
Right! Like in a fancy neighborhood.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I mean? Like, this is me, you're Oscar Pistorius. I can understand if it was a council flat where the bathroom's right next to the... You must have had a security, someone's in the bathroom alert or some shit like that.
Bruh. I mean, we all knew that.
And that just lets you know money talks and bullshit walks.
Didn't he go down for it in the end?
Yeah, but he didn't go down the way it was supposed to go down.
Yeah. Bruh, but come on, man. It's also South Africa.
Yeah, it's money.
And he's also got the fame and the money. And he's white.
And the money.
Yeah,
and the money. When you have money, even when you're black, when you have money, you might land a bit harder than the white man, but you'll land all right. Bro, no one can argue. No black person can argue after OJ got off.
Yeah.
Once we let OJ out, that was it.
Yeah, OJ is forever the symbol of like miscarriage of justice.
Because you have money. Because if OJ didn't have money, killed a white woman, oh my God, he won't even come to court. Listen, I'm just going to do this quiet. I'm going to take a plea deal.
Bro, I remember earlier on in the thing, I asked you a question, you didn't actually give me the answer about what you would do if you had all this grey market money.
Grey market money? From what though? How did I get the grey market money? If I sold drugs or something like that?
No, drugs is too obvious. Let's say it was like a fraud financial thing. and your part in it wasn't like you were the main guy, but you were involved. You got your cut. It's a large chunk. They did a big move. Yours is 5 million. What do you
5
do
million?
Yeah. What do you do with that 5 million?
I'm gonna buy Gucci. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna buy Gucci.
Full bird.
You know why? Because you have to understand, man. The when you do these moves, you know, you're not the person to think rationally. Does that make any sense?
Okay.
You're in that world. You're in that mindset.
Yeah.
You know, you're fast living, man.
But there are some people that have done moves like that, and now we just celebrate them as entrepreneurs.
Who?
Bruh, anyway,
Exactly.
You want to start naming names on the pod, but this was twice removed. So it was a friend telling me about some guys that she knew. And basically, a bunch of them did a move together, and the whole play was they all had business plans and ideas, and they all put each other on. But the first plan was they all had to invest in property, right? So everybody gets their cut, and then they had to put a certain amount back in to buy their first property. Then they used that money, released equity from that to buy the next one until they each all had a property. Then, like one of them was into fashion, so they used money to start his fashion line. One of them was into
What's
whatever.
the illegal thing here?
But it all started off. The first initial seed money was the fact that they did a move.
Yeah, but the thing is, I don't believe you do a move to
set yourself up.
Nah.
Why?
Because you're not that's who you are. That's who you are.
I think one or two people make it out.
But that's who you are still, though. Just because you did good with it doesn't mean that doesn't make it any good. That's who you are.
When you say that's who you are, what do you mean by that?
You're a crook. Because you needed to do something to, I don't know, get property, shoot a movie, do music. If you decide to sell drugs to get the seed money, you're a crook.
So regardless of what Jay-Z does now, he's forever a crook.
No, it's not regardless of Jay-Z didn't do drugs to do music. He sold drugs to Paul. He was a hustler. He was a dope boy. That's what he did to make money. Yes. It had nothing to do with doing good things. He did good things with his rap music.
I know, but they definitely funneled the money.
No,
when they were going out to shows and throwing money at the beginning of
that's
Rockefeller,
the money he made from drugs. Yeah,
that's my point.
But he didn't sell drugs to become a rapper. He stopped rapping because he said he's dead and went back to selling drugs.
Okay, but my point,
even Dame Dash was like, I had to push him to rap.
Okay, but my point is that they still did that, and then eventually
we're talking Jay-Z though,
right?
Yeah, but he didn't. You're saying they did a move first to get to what they wanted to do. There's a difference between doing that.
I don't know if they did it to get there, but that's what they ended up doing with the money.
No, you said they had to move the first thing. You said the first thing they did was to get the seed money, was to do a move.
I'm saying that's how they had the money in order to do all those things.
Right, so they planned to do a move to fund something else.
I don't know if at that point, I don't know their motivations. I don't know if it was a matter of they did the move and then they were like, let's do something clever with this, or whether it was like, we want to do something clever, let's go do a move. I don't know which one it was.
Whichever way, if you do something like that to get that, you're a crook at heart. Because that's your initial motivation.
But if you do it just out of regard and then you change over,
that's different.
Then that's different.
Yeah, because you can't listen. And I'm saying that because you said how you need to go along. You invest with bad seed, it's gonna fall apart. Because that's just karma, baby. That's just karma, baby.
I wish it worked that efficiently, but a lot of what we see right now is built on.
But you won't know though. You won't know where the karma hits. You won't know, and it might not even be with the business. You just won't know where the karma hits. But there's no way you can tell me you cheat someone out of something to build something beautiful, and that's just gonna keep someone seeds of joy and abundance. That's not how the world works. You will atone for that. And I'm not saying it's wrong or right.
You know when Chris Rock says that behind every great fortune is a great crime?
100%.
It makes me wonder, like,
but you don't understand
what does give joy to come.
Right, but you don't know.
Everything's tainted.
Right, so, and a lot of people spend a lot of that money washing those sins away, trying to atone for those things.
But what I'm saying is that if somebody, let's say they didn't do it themselves, let's say they did something, they did a move, they gave it to a charity, and charity did the work. The charity are doing work with blood money, yes, but at the same time, that doesn't mean it's like it can't. The charity's work.
But the charity didn't do the move though; they just took the money.
Yeah,
I'm saying if it's you as a person, that sort out. Do you see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. If a dope boy calls me today or a 419 dude says, yo, I made 60 million from a move. I want to invest money in making comedy shows. I'm taking money.
Yeah.
But we got to wash that money clean. But
Yo.
there's a level I'm willing to go with, dude.
Okay.
Because another thing you have to understand is this. You see, when you get into the worlds of power, you hang out with, I don't know, the big names, and he comes and says, "Yo, Ola, I bought the wife a Rolls Royce because I like hanging with you." Man, this guy's a great guy. He just bought the wife a Rolls Royce. Next week he's gonna call you, come and help me move a dead body.
Bro, 100%, bro.
You see what I'm saying?
Even when you said that, put the wife around, I'm like, nah.
That's how they
nigga.
rope you in.
Yeah.
So when you hang with these rich people, they give you fake, they buy you stuff or do stuff for you
Yeah.
because they're gonna ask for something in return one day.
Of course.
So you always have to be careful how you move with these things.
Yeah, you buy secrets and favors.
And that's
the real currency.
That's why a lot of us are not rich.
Yeah.
Because when you go into the house and you see an orgy with a goat, and you're like, "It's not my style. You want to be the billionaire or not?" Damn, I gotta fuck a
orgy
goat.
with the goat. God.
Damn, I gotta
That's
fuck a
not
goat.
orgy anymore,
I gotta
bro.
fuck a goat to get this lifestyle. God damn. Can I? I'm joking. I don't have to look at the goat, though. No, I'm joking. But what I mean is,
But they tell you the goat for real, bro. You're like, don't take me back.
Where's my goat? You the goat. No, I'm joking. My point is this here. So what I'm saying is, I'm not saying these things don't happen because they do a million times. But I'm not here with the Robin Hood. Robin Hood enjoyed robbing people.
He's a Robin.
He just
Robin's
found
like,
a
my
way
first name Robin.
He just found a way to justify it. You know what I'm saying?
He's like, I like to run.
At one point, do you stop? Do they need to get what they need? At one point,
I like crime.
I like
it.
I like Sorob. He liked robbing. Do you know what I mean?
Bro.
There was something about it he liked. You know what I mean? I listen. Most of the bank robbers, serial killers, it's a thrill.
Yeah.
The money means nothing to them. Otherwise, they won't go and rob again.
Yeah. I get what you mean.
Escobar, it was the thrill. He didn't even take drugs.
Yeah, of course. He definitely enjoyed the power of it, though.
It's just the thrill of it. So
Yeah.
so right. So if you're doing, I don't believe you can just do one fraud move and then retire.
I believe it.
Nah,
I believe for some people.
4. They just didn't tell you the ones they did. No one does one fraud and then retire. You know. Have you done fraud before? No. Man said, have you done fraud before?
I'm like, yeah, I did fraud back in 07. I did.
It's funny because my boy, I'm working on a script with him.
Nah, I've never done fraud
I'm working
before,
on a script
and I want to
with
make
my
that very
boy.
clear.
I'm working on a script with my boy about fraud.
Okay.
And he told me the ins and outs.
Okay.
And I was shocked, bruv.
Why were you shocked?
I was shocked at how
What sophisticated it is.
it's not even that sophisticated. I was shocked at how open it was.
Open.
Bait. It was bait. It became so. It's like black people do this with everything. You know when like someone starts selling cupcakes on Insta,
Yeah.
and then the cupcake business just gets saturated because everybody can make a cupcake.
Yeah.
Same
No,
the
that definitely
t-shirts.
happened with ACs.
ACs, yeah.
Which fraud movie is the ACs he was talking to you about?
Which one's ACs?
ACs is when someone basically needs an account, they need to move money, they go and withdraw the money before it clears, then they cancel the check.
I'm never gonna say what was. I don't know if we can say what was telling me on thingy. There's
Just tell me what the crime is.
These ones, but they get accounts.
Yeah.
They get account details.
Yeah.
From someone inside. Get them all these account details. There's that one, and then you call up the call centers. The call centers were in India.
Yeah.
All right. All you had to do was pretend to be a posh white man.
Okay.
They had white people on payroll.
Okay.
And I'm not talking white people who went to Oxford. Just any stonehead white guy who they could just pay a fee.
Yeah.
And he'd call up, just went to check my account. And they'd be like, which one? Oh, all of them.
Okay.
So they give you all the secrets to the account. And then you withdraw. So you know how much is in the account.
Okay.
And you withdraw it. Get the white people to go into the bank because they never raise suspicion. Oh, there was a racial element to it and everything.
So they send the white people in to go withdraw.
So they'll set up an account in the kid's name.
Okay.
So this kid's 17.
Yeah.
But the account will have 10 grand in it.
Okay.
And they send him to go and withdraw the account.
Whose 10 grand is this originally?
The person that they sucked up from his account. So it's all rich
Okay.
people. Middle class people with like 100 grand in their account.
All right. So somebody
money's
inside will
insured.
just move some of it away to another account.
I have the account details.
Okay, but how did you get the account details?
Like from the inside guy.
Okay.
Letters, postmen, all of that shit.
Okay.
Yeah, so you had the postal people involved. They get like £500 per thingy.
Yeah. That one's way more sophisticated. This one was just like, back in the day when I was young, I just know a couple of people were doing it. They would just say, "Can I use your account?" And what they'll do is
They put money in your account, like a check in it.
Yeah,
And then
put a
withdraw
check,
it.
and then you go and withdraw it before it clears.
Yeah.
Then they'll cancel the check.
But your account gets fucked up though.
Of course it does, because the only person seen on camera is you withdrawing this cash.
Yeah.
And you have to go into the branch to take out, the kind of.
At that time, you could go to a bureau de change.
Wow, I didn't know.
And withdraw the money there.
Yeah, bro. It was wild back then, because I know so many people that.
Oh yeah, my whole crew was doing it.
Yeah, like I knew those two, and I know. In fact, there you go. That's a perfect example. I know one guy right now. This guy is. I'm not gonna give out too many details about his life, but we went to uni together, and for the longest time, like he was what I described about not being free. That's how he was. He had the money in a shoebox under his bed.
Mad.
But he couldn't let his parents find out he had this much money. He couldn't really do anything with the money that he wanted to do. And so it's just, I think over time, he just had to kind of like let the money trickle out.
Okay.
To the point that it wouldn't seem like anything. But this idea that he was going to just make this big move and then buy a car or whatever, he couldn't do it.
Wow.
But, he ended up going to uni with me. So he's at a top uni. He's since gone on to, get further education. And he has a really good job. Just got married recently. So, like, he did one move basically. And it scared him so much that he was like, yeah, I'm not doing this ever again.
He wasn't built for it, man.
Yeah, he wasn't built for it. But what I'm saying is that for some people, they do one move and that's it.
Well, yeah. I mean, but what I meant was if you do one move and you, but he didn't spend that money even. If he had spent that money, he did another move. But he couldn't spend that money. And I think the training, because that happened to me as well, the training you have makes you realize this is not for me. I'm not about to keep doing this as an natural.
The trainer, as in like
my parents.
Oh, okay, the home training. Right.
You feel you just realize this is not me.
Yeah.
And I'm just hanging with people. That,
that's the thing about there's all of these frauds kind of things. They were like entry level crimes because you didn't need to have like any criminal disposition to get involved.
Well, that's what he just said to me.
Your
he said there was no beef. He said, well, what was the beef? I said, there's no beef. He said the beef was the drug dealers were hating on them because they were getting money quicker than them. Yeah. But sometimes you could try and lick a move. Yeah. You wait the whole week and the move doesn't come through. The bank catch on and they cancel the tick. He actually said to me they targeted a certain bank because of ties to slavery. I said, there's no honor amongst thieves, bro. You're all crooks. All crooks, bro. Don't try and give any kind of... But there is something in that, though. Because the bank do stash whatever money they can get.
There was a time where it was starting to go bad for a lot of people because whoever the middleman was always getting screwed over. So the guy who had the square and the guy who was the man at the top, they always got their money. The middleman was like some girl, whatever it is, who's in college, and they're like, let's just use your account. She's like, you guys took all the money out, you didn't leave the amount you're supposed to leave for me. Her bank account gets screwed up. She's the one that ends up going to court. She says, oh, yeah, man like Striver, who was the one that used my account. Do you know his real name? No, I just know him as Striver. Then all of a sudden, she takes the whole fall for it. That to be honest, that's that industry imploding on itself because it's greed that drives it, and it's greed that eventually kills it.
What did they say? Charge that to the game.
They do, but I'm saying that like at the beginning when everyone was making sure that everyone got paid. If you want to do crime, you have to make sure everyone gets paid. You can't. You can't
if you're a criminal.
You can't start squeezing people.
Not if you're a criminal.
It depends. If you're a short-term criminal, then fine, go ahead.
I mean, if you know what it is? It's all nature, Do
you know what it is? I've learned
it's who you are as a nature. It's who you are as a person. Okay. If I was to put you as a criminal now, as head of an organization, I know exactly what type of head you're gonna be. You won't want wahala. There's no need for killing in the streets.
Of course not.
Let's keep it humble. Everyone's getting money. There's no need for us to all this rah-rah shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'll probably be more emotional at someone killing Thingy and saying, we have to blow up their whole territory. Say, yo, but we can parlay and talk. No, they're taking the piss. We have to wipe them off the face of the earth. You understand?
Yeah, that's why
that's my nature.
Work together. That's why we do a podcast, bro.
That's my nature.
Okay.
So, and I think when you have those criminals who don't understand, you keep everybody happy. Yeah. Everyone's happy.
Yeah, I mean,
when you have those people that don't understand, you can see they're the ones in football when he's playing in the park, just football in the park with your friends. Yeah. Foul every 5 seconds. Yeah. No one fouled you. All right, next time I foul, I'm gonna punch him in his face. Now no one wants to play football no more.
But bro, it's like, do you know the era of The Wire when Stringer Bell was in charge?
Stringer Bell.
Yeah. Idris Elba's character.
Yeah. No way.
No, as in like, just in case.
Stringer B.
It's not just us talking, bro. So Stringer Bell's character in the show, he was very forward thinking. He thought of everything like as a business. And he was very, very astute and sharp, and he even ran their meetings like it was parliamentary meetings and so on. So when he was in charge, obviously there's way more efficiency and so on, but at the end of the day, man, even Stringer Bell ended up getting killed. So it's like, even if you want to be the smart guy, there's a time where you have to get gully.
Why did he get killed though?
I mean,
because he stepped out of his lane.
Yeah.
Tried to be someone, tried to go into politics and shit like that. They swindled him nicely.
True.
And then he stepped on, and also he got killed because he was a shady motherfucker.
Everybody was shady in the entire show. Everybody was shady. So I guess everybody died at some point. But
he was a shady bastard. Killed his nephew. Killed that man's prison. He killed Avon's cousin, his brother in prison.
My point is just that eventually, like, you need that balance. So you need that balance. You need a person who understands how to run an organization, how to be level-headed, how to be calm, and you need
a hothead, man.
Them hotheads as well.
You need a hothead. Look at Godfather,
This podcast would not be any fun if it was just two Olas having a conversation.
Well, it wouldn't be fun if it was just two Funbis.
Exactly.
Because it's just the same person,
That's the point I'm making. So
it might be fun if it was two Funbis, but my point is...
there will be no podcast, bro.
And that's the thing. It's like...
there'll be no podcast. There wouldn't even be no volume levels set.
There'll be no organization. Then.
No organization.
There'll be no organized crime if everybody was the same.
If you're going to do organized crime, you need some born criminals and some born organizers and put them together.
Yes.
You need to make the criminals more organized.
And call it FIFA.
You need to make the organizers more criminal.
And call it FIFA.
Bro, if you look at it here, every single institution on earth is essentially an organized crime syndicate. But if you can organize in a certain way and provide a certain level of stability for the average person, most people are okay.
Yep, most
they're
people are going to
fine.
turn a blind eye, boy.
Because everyone, no matter how many times we make jokes about corruption and FIFA and so on, people like how football is run.
Yep.
They love it.
Yeah. Hey, no matter how much I talk about it, hire me at FIFA tomorrow. I ain't going to change a motherfucking thing.
What you mean?
But my office view, I'm going to put the window right here. Like when people were saying to me,
stand up in the office every day.
People were saying to me, are you gonna take the vaccine? I was like, yeah. Like, you don't think, to me, look, if Bill Gates wants to control me, he didn't have to do all of this.
Yeah, bro. What do you mean?
Just hit me up on the DMs,
bro.
Just tell me the price. I sold my soul 2 weeks ago.
Bill Gates said, "I give you £20 right now." You be like, "Yo, I had that £20 earlier on today." You know,
like what? He doesn't have to.
Bro,
do
you have to remember, when I think about our job, someone says, "I got £50 for you. Show up at this place at this time," and we go. Like, we are primed to get taken advantage of and killed and so on. Sometimes if someone outside the country emails you and says, "Get on this plane, come to this country where you don't know anybody, I'll pay you £200 to come and perform for 20 minutes. Bro, if they want to kill you, they're going to get you, bro.
Sure.
We put our dates up online, like people know where to find you.
Sure.
See the idea that you're trying to now protect yourself from this shit, bro.
That's how I don't cause beef,
Bro, if you're about to go to the store and they're like, "Oh yeah, if we want to get paid in cash, just need to quickly inject you with this." He'd be like, "Oh, but Bax is not until Tuesday.
Nah, man.
And I need the cab money home.
Man. Inject me with what?
Inject me, man.
Inject me with what? Nah, I'll wait till Tuesday. Fuck that. I don't know what they're gonna inject me with. But hey, them cash days at the store.
Oh, bro.
What weekends?
Bro, the ones where I used to sell the DVD as well. The ones where you sell the DVD
Used to
as
be
well.
a pretty weekend.
Oh.
Used to be a pretty weekend.
Bro, did I ever tell you what happened? Actually, maybe I shouldn't say it online. Actually, no, put it. Bro, I came out with too much money. It was too much. Like, I sold too many. And at the store, like, obviously everyone there is kind of on a big night out and they've way more free with their money. So I used hella £20 notes, £10 notes, you know what I'm saying, like couple 50s and whatnot. I had a lot of cash on me. And because I was taking it and I don't want to like be counting it in front of people and stuff, I'll just put it away into my pocket. But it's getting to a point where it's actually overflowing. So I just like, I need to go backstage. So as I get into the into the back room, I pull out all the cash to stop it falling out my pocket. It was getting to that point, it was going to come out my pocket. So I pull it out so I can bring it out and start counting it. I turn around and see my guy sitting right there.
Who?
Owner.
No, wait, what a schoolboy.
Bro,
you didn't see him when you walked in?
I didn't see him when I walked. No, he was behind the door. He was sitting up on the
You should have gone to the toilet kiosk.
Bro, you know where the you mean the customer's toilet?
Yeah, you should have gone somewhere, man.
That would have been worse.
No, if you locked the kiosk door.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I just...
That would have been worse than seeing the owner of the store seeing how much you're taking home.
Bro, do you know what it is? Do you know what was so gangster about it? He didn't say anything.
Oh, my
No,
God.
what do you know he said? Oh, no, he said, "Oh, seems like you did well out there." And I don't know whether he was talking about the sales or the set, but I did well with both. So I was just like, "Yeah, man, that was really nice out there, man. Thanks as always for having me."
Did the penny drop?
no. What happened is he walked out.
And you didn't panic?
He walked out, and I was just like, oh my goodness. Like, I thought in my head, like, I didn't know he was gonna be there. It was a bit of a shock, but he didn't say anything that was like too much. So he just walked out, and I was like, fine, cool. I was like, all right, cool, because I've been selling other weekends there as well.
How much did you make that night?
That night was maybe like £300.
Okay.
So
on top of the weekend.
On top of the weekend.
Yeesh. I don't cancel your shows.
That was 300 from that show. I did another show that night and still sold DVDs. So I had all of this money falling out. These 5s, 10s, 20s, all that kind of stuff. I'm trying to straighten them out. Bro, give it like 10 minutes. Other guy, I don't want to say people's names and stuff, but other guy comes in and goes, yeah, I hope you do know about the 10% commission that we take on sales at the store. And I was like, ha, 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 yeah, funny. Because I've had that joke a couple times before, and he was like, I'm being deadly serious. I was like, I've never had this before. I've sold many times here and Manchester. Oh, where did this come from?
This nigga said, have you? What dates were those?
No, I mean, they never. Then
this even nigga dry snitching.
If I told them I sold £20, what are they gonna do? They can't. There's no records for them to check. But I said that, and he was like, he just kind of shrugged his shoulders and looked at me like this rule basically just got instilled right now. He like basically this nigga saw me making
10% commission.
I can't remember if it was 10 or how much it was.
You should give him £10.
It was 10 or 15 or whatever it is. But they'd already seen me with all the cash.
How did they know how much you had,
bro?
Had they paid you as well?
No, they hadn't paid me at this point.
How much did you give him?
I did the proper. I think it was 10 or 15%, something like that. I calculated. I gave it to them. I was very honest with it. I had no problem. I paid the piper, whatever. I understand. It's your venue.
I wouldn't have paid the piper.
No, it's your venue, man. No, you put the work in and
no. That's not the point, though. It's not that it's his venue. He only came because he saw money in your pocket. And
of course.
The 10% rule. That's the piss take.
Yeah. I
want to see that in writing, but then you're fucking with your money for the rest of the year.
That's what I'm saying, bro. At this point, it's like you pay the piper because it's the cost of doing business out here.
Man, it's the principle. Tell me you're the fucking piper then, innit?
Yeah, but bro, come on, man. You know man's the piper, bro.
No, I don't know he's the piper.
Man used to run strip clubs out here. You think comedy was...
So you need my 30... You said you made about 300. 10% of that is £30.
Yeah, I know.
You need about £30 that
bro,
bad?
Listen to what I just said. My man used to run strip clubs.
I'd have told him £5.
We're all strippers to him, bro. You go out there and make my money and I get my cut.
That's fine. But
as long as you know the deal, though. Pardon?
He didn't tell you that, though.
He didn't tell me, but
to be fair, it's in fairness to him. He hustled you calm.
He hustled me calm. And he hustled
me. Venue.
It was very, very polite. It was very, very respectable.
I'd have had more respect if he came to you as a man, though.
To be honest, yeah.
And tapped your pockets like, on my handful.
If he came to me and said,
if he came to say, what you got on my shorty, homie, my 40, homie, I'd be like, all right. Debo in this, okay.
Okay, all right.
You been watching Friday? I like that.
Tucky Chains.
Soon as I see, I was about to say his name. Soon as I see him at the store now, oh shit, that nigga coming through.
Nah, I got jacked nicely, but I respected
it. You didn't get jacked. You just got. I
got taxed.
He got, and you know what? He's shady for. It's the way he did it. I don't like.
I mentioned it. No, because when I now went to another club. I went to the CAF. And the owner of the CAF was like, made that same joke to me. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. How much is your percentage? He was like, get the fuck out of here. Like, I ain't charge you for that. He was like, people been charging you. I was like, yeah, I pay at the store. He was like, oh, this guy. He was so disappointed. He was angry. He was like, man. How is he?
You're like,
no, because I thought it was coming again. I didn't want to be like.
You're like the nicest prick in. You're not the biggest, nicest prick in comedy, honestly.
What?
Like people walk around saying, "Oh, this." Look how you just were so honest with the guy. Oh, sure. What's your tax? Huh?
What do you mean, bro? If I'm gonna be in someone's venue selling a product, right?
Yeah.
You can't just walk into.
But that's why you're not a billionaire.
Into Box Park and start selling food.
You said you should be a billionaire. It's for moments like this that you're not.
No, but wait. Hear what it is, bro. If you really want to make money in this life, everybody around you has to be rich. Everybody around you, everyone you work with has to make money from what you're doing. Else the cost of doing business is always going to cancel out anything you grow.
I'm not rich, and I do business with Don.
I'm saying, bro, if you're going to get to the point where you are making any substantial amount of money, you have to be making other people around you rich, who you are working with.
Who does he make rich?
Don's whole position is, look, everybody here is going to get paid. And in fact, I'm going to pay the comedians probably better than what they get at most clubs, right? And for that, I'm going to charge this much. And I'm going to run this level of establishment. I'm going to make you jump through these hoops, right? That's how his business model works. And the whole point in that is, you know, it's the same model as running a strip joint. You have to give strippers the illusion that they can become rich. They can buy cars and jewels and stuff.
But
And
he doesn't give us that illusion. I mean, the illusion is
he does. He does. Why do you think so many comedians go through all of the?
Because they get paid.
But the idea is you don't just get paid. It's prestige. It's the amount you're going to get paid. It's the fact that you're going to be in this top flight of comedians. You've been selected and so on. So I'm just saying it's the same thing. It's the same move. It's the same move everywhere else. And so for me, I'm like, cool. If that's what I got to do in order to keep my business running, I'm cool with that. Because the truth is, if I stand on the corner outside on the street, say I got a DVD, I'll be like these guys you see in Oxford Street that stop you and say, do you like hip hop? But if I do it after a show with an audience that you brought together, you paid me to be on the show, and I have a chance to sell to these people, and you say you want your cut, I'm happy to give you a cut.
Yeah, but he didn't say he wants his cut, though. That's the point. That's what pisses me
Which
off.
one? Store one?
Yeah.
Well, he didn't say,
Yeah.
He sent his guy to come and say.
Right. He said, and by the way, I'm sure you could have knocked out said guy.
I mean,
You didn't even have the muscle like that. If he said Franco or Tony, I could understand. Hey, Ola, take a walk with me. If it was one of those cats, listen, I didn't know my muscles was tripping like that.
But to be
we
honest,
weren't even those kind of guys.
There was a couple times where I forgot to pay the piper, and I told the guy, I was like, I forgot to pay the piper. He was like, oh, forget it, man. Like, I think they all knew that it was absolute nonsense. He made that rule up on the spot.
Of course.
Because
that's why I wouldn't have
because
paid.
they sell merchandise as well. You see what I'm saying? They've got the comedians that they manage, you can buy their CDs at the club, and you can buy the t-shirts and all that kind of stuff. So the idea is, like, if you're gonna be here taking sales, if you're gonna be out here taking sales, then they have to get their cut. I'm like, that's fine.
No, that I respect, because they and plus they're your agents and they're helping you sell your stuff.
Yeah,
definitely.
So I'm like, yeah.
And by the way, I have no problem paying the piper. I just want the piper to be up front.
Yeah, be up front.
You know, I like to know.
Bro,
I like
honestly,
to know.
I gave my agent a pay rise before.
Huh?
I gave my agent a pay rise before. My old agent. I told her I want to pay you 20. And she was 15 was her rate. I want to pay you 20.
Why?
It was two reasons actually. One, I wanted to. My main motivation for this was I wanted her to go out there and work harder for me. So when a gig comes in, if she can make 15% from one act and she make 20% from another act, she'd give it to the act that she didn't make 20% from. So overall, even though I've given her 5% pay rise, my overall net profitability should go up by the increased work coming my way. That was the theory of it. And then
The reality?
the reality is I never did the numbers, but she was always kind of looking after me in general. So she did chuck kind of gigs. I don't know if I got more gigs that were supposed to go to someone else, but I was happy to pay that to her. The reason where it actually paid off for me is when I wanted to leave her. So when I left to go to my next agent, they didn't want to touch live. They didn't care about live. They just wanted to do film TV. So I needed to ask her to still do my live, but not get any of the big money that she was kind of hoping and waiting for. And in the end, she kind of agreed to keep going, which really helped me out at that time. And I think the fact that I was paying her the 20% really just allowed me to tide over in that period until, I moved over. So I don't know. For me, I am not against spreading the wealth a little bit around the people who are with me. If you work with me, you have to get rich with me.
Well, I'm not giving my agent more than the 15% they deserve at all.
Yeah, I'm not with my new agent. I am not giving everybody pay rises.
My whole mindset
well.
is flipped around agents. They work for me. I just think I worked for them. They work for you. In fact, agents should be treated like.
But even with you, my whole mentality around bringing you in is not so that I don't get these opportunities. I can stunt on you and be like, yeah, I just got booked for this and blah blah. I'm like, yo, how can we put the
that's
people's
different
on?
in the sense. Yeah, that's different. I mean, I'm not bringing people.
And I got a gig for you, by the way, nicely paid. I'm
not bringing people in to be rich. In fact, I tell people, if you think you're going to be rich off of this, you're on the wrong vehicle.
Okay.
Because I can't determine the times, the seasons, and a lot of times people overpromise.
Oh yeah.
People write a movie and they're like, we're gonna be at the bad, and people really go in there with those notions.
Mm-hmm.
I go in with a real notion that you're gonna learn experience here. Mm-hmm. You're gonna see something that's been completed. And you're gonna be able to show your kids something in 20 years. The money aspect, I don't know.
Okay.
But you can use it to prepare yourself to go and make some more money. I don't believe we're all born to be rich and millionaires. I don't believe that's true.
Yeah, of course.
I believe we're born to be content.
Yeah.
And some of us will have the fuck you money where you can throw a stack in my face and I can't do nothing but count it.
Yeah.
Or you can, you can I was listening to that song, Count Your Blessings, name them one by one.
Yeah.
And it will surprise you what the Lord has done. Can you imagine?
The Kanye version.
Huh?
The Kanye version, the Sunday service version.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
No.
I didn't think so.
Count your blessings, name them one by one.
Oh, yeah. Okay, you
And
went.
it will surprise you what the
You got the
Lord
celeb
has
version,
done.
bro. What's
Big
going
time.
on?
I think the celeb version predated them, Des. Anyway.
Yeah. I'm
So,
sure it did.
and it's probably a colonial song. Must be.
Let's not get. Let's
Count
just,
your blessings, name them one by one.
Let's just accept it at face value at this point. I think the Bible says this.
Oh, the Bible says it. Oh, and then we just put the remix in.
Of
Count
course.
your blessings, name them one by one.
Let's just put the
And
tune
we
to
will
it. man.
surprise you what the Lord has done. What's the song they come in there? And he will surprise you what the Lord has done. What song can you bring in like that? My God is good, hallelujah. God is. You gotta bring in the next
There's
song.
always like a
Right.
Yeah.
What can you rock it
The
with that?
Lord has
Count your blessings, name them one by one. And it will surprise you what the Lord has done.
Everybody shout hallelujah.
No,
It didn't flow. It didn't flow.
No,
it didn't flow.
I
I'm trying
felt it. Yeah, okay.
No, it didn't flow.
All right, let's go again. Count your blessings, name them one by one. And it will surprise you what the Lord has done. I've got nothing. I ain't been to church in a minute.
No, then you go to I conquer Satan, I
I
conquer
conquer
demons, I conquer
conquer
principalities,
Okay,
I conquer power.
Okay,
Shout
count your
hallelujah.
blessings, name by one. And it will surprise you what the Lord has done. You can't go to I conquer.
Bro, that's the next one,
And
bro.
it will surprise you what the Lord has done.
Then it'll
I
be a different
conquer
chorus that comes in with like
I conquer.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, we went on a whole tangent on that just to find the next song that
bro,
comes
that's
in.
Nigerian praise.
But what I was trying to say
medleys.
was, it was honestly surprised you what the Lord has done.
Oh yeah, 100%. I agree with you in terms of the contentment side of things. I don't think all of us are gonna be super stinking rich, but I think in terms of us being wise and good stewards of the resources we're given, I think the wise thing to do is to use funds to make people's lives better. And
Well, here's the thing: breaking bread is. I hear what you're saying in that sense, but the bread should be broken like bread would, the fulfillment should be in the opportunity we've created and not in the bread that's being split.
okay,
The money should never be. When you called me to do Waiting Day, for instance,
yeah,
if there was no money involved, I would have done it.
yeah. I mean, obviously,
understand?
that was not a check that's like, oh, Ola put me on. No, it's not like that. But it's gonna be a case of like, one, obviously, I'd much rather work with you, and I think we're gonna come up with a better product. I think that's at the first and foremost. But then I also think if there's an opportunity to get paid, I'm going to try and put you on, because it makes sense to me that, like, you know, like we said, rich people trade on secrets and favors. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're out here being stingy and so on.
Someone said to me-
Rich people are not stingy, you know.
They are.
No, they're stingy with
They're
people
tight.
who can't help them.
Oh, there's no money coming back.
Exactly. They just don't give to scroungers or who they deem to be scroungers. Anybody trying to use them for a come up, they don't particularly want to give to those people. But if you provide a service for them, they will pay you handsomely. And that's why you see rich people who will pay ridiculous money for a woman to, you know, carry their child because the wife can't give birth, or they'll pay a mistress, or because these people provide services for them. And they're like, look, I understand that, like, I can get sex, you know, damn near for $20 or whatever it is. Like, sex is cheap, but they'll pay an escort this much because they're paying for her discretion, her to leave, her to keep silent, all of the things,
Her to not have an STD.
her to not having it, all everything that they need, they will pay for it. They happily will.
Okay.
So I'm just saying 100% that when you have that mentality of like, oh, I can't let other people around me get in on the pie because blah blah blah, then you're kind of keeping yourself in poverty in many ways, because really and truly, if you have the right mindset, you really should be trying to help everyone around you get it as well.
But who does though? I don't know anyone who helps everyone around them get it.
That's 'cause you
Everyone
live in
uses
Hackney, bro.
everyone uses everyone. I think everyone uses everyone at some point. I don't think everyone's trying to help you get it. Everyone's
Bro.
trying to get something of what you've got so we can all get it.
I'm doing that. Let me let you know that for free.
Well, what I mean is in terms of
But you said I'm the nicest prick in the industry, so I don't know what to make of that. But that's what I'm trying to do.
I mean, if it's your people's, yeah. But not if it's not your people's. You don't have to. You don't owe to bring.
Yeah, I mean, I
everybody,
can't. Obviously, I can't help everyone get on.
No.
If I don't rate your comedy, I'm not gonna recommend you to a club. But at the same
What if
time,
you don't rate their comedy, but you think they could be right for something you're working on?
if I think they would be right for what I'm doing, yeah,
Yeah.
I'll bring him on.
And that's me.
That's a project.
I will bring you up right. If I have a project, I will bring anybody in who
Yeah.
I think you have the talent for.
yeah, yeah.
But I will not promise you, heads in the clouds fees.
Oh, of course not.
Yeah.
Of course not. Of
I
course
just
not.
want you to understand that I'm bringing you on as a project, and I respect what you do as a craft.
Yeah,
And if you can make money eventually, like again, if I made say a movie or a special, whatever, we all made together, and I made $1 million off of it. Even if the deal was before that no one gets paid, I will pay everybody what they deserve for putting in
Yeah.
that film.
I
I'm
just
that
mean,
kind of
I just
person,
mean like if let's say I got that special and I just got the mill, I've got many things I could do with that money. But if the only thing I do is to like do stuff to try and let you know that I got that mill right now, as far as I'm concerned, that's a waste of time. But if I say, look, bro, like let's fund your project. What's going on, man? You say you've been saying you want to do this thing this whole time. What's the budget? Let's put it up. I'm more on that way
That
because
makes more
like
sense.
if that give and go, if you get that and you go make the movie pop off or your film or your special, whatever it is, bro, it's not even like you have to give me that money back. It's just the fact that I know my money's out there going out and making more money. That money's going to come back to me whether I like it or not. Even if I don't want the money to come back to me, it's going to come back to me.
But the money might not come back to you, but something will.
Yeah. When I say the money will come back to me, I'm saying that like
The reward of that. Or
Yeah.
The reward of that.
so that's why I'm like, sometimes I think the stingy mentalities kind of kill us. Some of the people I'm doing business with now these days really, really show me because they've learnt it from other people who they've done business with. And it's like, they've built $billion companies off of this principle of like everybody who you touch in terms of they are working towards your thing. You need to make sure that they are making money from it. Everybody's incentivized to build your thing. Everybody's incentivized to work with you. Everybody's incentivized to add and to put their skills towards the thing. When you get that principle, you can really do amazing things. Men used to, do like unthinkable things just on that basis alone.
Well, just sharing the wealth.
Yeah. Incentivizing everybody. But
You can't incentivize everyone though. Not if you own not if you own Topshop, you can't incentivize everyone. Somebody have to clean. But you
Yeah,
can
but
incentivize them though. You
yeah,
can
that's what I'm saying.
make
Everybody
cleaning
gets,
worth their while.
yeah. Yeah,
That's what I mean,
You give
like,
them
this
some targets.
industry.
You give them some targets and say there's a bonus at the end of it.
Yeah, that's what I mean about industries in the sense where, a lot of more jobs will be respected more if you didn't paint them as loser.
Yeah.
I'm
yeah.
a bus driver. Loser, why don't you have ambition? Like,
Bro, at the end of the day, man, there's a certain amount to which money already does that. But there's many things that we overcome it for. We overcome money to like celebrate people who work in nurseries, for example. You know what I'm saying? Like we'll say that that's a respectable job. They work with children. That's very kind. It's
not
very
respectable
nurturing and so on. That's a minimum wage job right there.
because it's some bullshit.
It is.
Because no one wants to work with kids. That's the facts of it all. Nobody wants that job. They should be paid a king's ransom, to be honest with you. That's why childcare is a mother.
Bro, childcare, they get paid.
Childcare get paid.
Childcare, but I'm saying
I
if you're a
respect
nursery worker, you get minimum wage.
That's because you're in a teacher system, though.
Bro,
But you're not political. The
care
funding.
workers, bro.
You're political. Yeah. Any Nigerian aunties have that game on lock.
Bro.
I don't understand why there is no Nigerian auntie care worker company, because the moment you come
do you
from
mean?
Nigeria, okay.
There's so many in our community. That's what they came up off of.
Okay.
They came up off of that care working thing. In fact,
It's like their own company, right?
yeah, their own company, and now they, I'm saying like they're host turned madame basically.
Yeah.
So they've now got the people working for them. I know of a couple families actually, Nigerian families that own a string of care homes, and then also have the contracts to provide in-house care as well.
Man.
And they just use the community basically. As soon as someone comes in the country and they need a job,
Mashigini.
This is it.
Masha care work.
this is it. You have to go do that care work. That's your cotton.
And unlike Harold Shipman, we don't kill their elderly.
Bruh. Yeah. So I mean, that is a big
Too
come
soon?
up. No, that care work is a big come up. Like that's one where we definitely took the industry and took it seriously and figured out the game. Figured out like,
We
okay,
should
this
have
how
done
you
the
get
cleaning
the.
industry the same as well.
Pardon?
We should have done the cleaning industry the same as well.
A couple people, but
Polish
like you haven't got
people-
like the Canary
Polish
Wharf
people have
contracts.
the cleaning industry on lock.
Yeah.
If
They-
you call
they
a
took that
Polish, if
seriously.
you call a cleaner to your house and they're not Polish, you don't even let them in. But they be cleaning.
To be fair, our cleaner's Nigerian, but I mean we keep it
That's
in the
good.
community. But she goes to our church as well. She does that on the side. So
Just on the side.
yeah, so we respect it.
I mean, the truth is this, we're a bunch of bitch ass people. We want all these big homes and dreams, but we can't clean them ourselves. So we hire cleaners to make ourselves feel better about it.
What do you mean? That's exactly how it should work. What do you mean?
That's not exactly how it should work.
If I was gonna build a big company, does that mean I need to be able to change all the light bulbs? I'm hiring maintenance stuff. What do you mean?
Of course you are.
What do you mean?
Of course you are. Maintenance house makes sense though.
Pardon?
Maintenance house stuff. I'm talking about our generation of new marriage people.
Yeah.
You lot have cleaners in your little 2-bedroom flats, and I'm just like, what are you doing?
Hey, but that's because Anyway, let's not go
You're
down that road.
bitches, that's why.
Let's not go down that
You're a
road.
bunch of bitches. My mom and dad had zero. Well, first of all, they couldn't afford no damn cleaners. That's for damn sure. They were the cleaners. My dad, mom, they could clean the whole sea. They weren't cleaning the yard. They had to come over and clean the yard themselves. But I'm just saying, it's so funny how we are a bunch of bitches as our generation. We don't struggle. We can't fight. We're not in it for the put your socks up. We're not in it for that.
Yeah,
We're in it for the.
There's
I'm just putting the camera to my face and doing the angles life.
But bro,
You will go for a whole family album.
The challenges are different, bro.
Big time. You
The
go
challenges
for a
are
whole
different.
photo
It's
album
not
of
that
your
it's
mum.
not that we're bitches. It's the fact
We're
that we
bitches.
face different challenges.
We're bitches. The world has
It's different
bitches up.
challenges, bro.
What's the challenge? Cleaning your yard.
No, it's like there are other challenges. Look, put it this way, bro. If you put yourself in the place of a parent, right? Now you've got a series of things that you need to do, and workplaces. You have to remember, bro. Wages have been stagnant. If you work in a workplace, your wage has not really moved that much over the past 10 years, but prices have gone up, right?
Why though?
I'll tell you why. But anyway, let's not go into that straight away because we'll go too deep. So inflation has gone up.
Yes.
Wages have stayed the same. So in order to maintain, and you have to also remember, not only has inflation gone up, the amount of things you need to pay for that is accepted as normal now have also increased. You wouldn't have had an internet bill, 20 years ago, but now it's expected that everyone's going to have internet, right? Not everybody would have had a mobile phone a certain time ago. Now everyone's expected to have a mobile phone. So there are new bills coming in and new expectations of normal. To maintain that, people work more and more and more. So if you get paid, let's say you get paid £20 an hour in your office job, and you could, and your workplace is also saying you should do overtime and whatnot, like if you really want to meet targets and blah, 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 you need to go and do the work. And you have to go clean your house. You go, do you know what? My time is worth £20 an hour. If somebody says they're going to clean my house for £10 an hour, I'd rather pay it and make the £10 difference getting my work done. If I leave that £20 an hour time to go clean my house, I'm losing £20 an hour. Whereas if I pay somebody, I'm actually, not everybody's thought about it like this, but this is kind of the decision making. So it's like most of the stuff gets outsourced now. That's why there's all these meal prep services, people order food and so on.
Because we can't do anything for ourselves no more.
It's because we've all been told that the best use of all of our time and energy
Is at work.
is to give it to a corporation. Yeah. That's what all the incentive is.
Where's the bridge? I'm jumping off. That's poetic in itself.
Yeah,
That's worse than living to die. That's actually working to die.
When they were funding all of these feminist movements and so on, they were selling them on the idea that their best and most fertile and energetic years should be given to a corporation. Why? Because they told them you're going to get rich. It's the same principle as the strip club and the comedy club. It's like,
and how many of us have gotten rich with this scheme?
Bro, think about it like this, and this answers your question as to why we've seen wage stagnation and inflation at the same time. Think about what happens if all of a sudden you start encouraging women to enter the workforce, right? Where when it's usually mostly men, add women there. All of a sudden now you've got twice as many
sexual harassment cases.
This guy. I trust you, man. I trust you, bro. You're a sniper with it.
My bad.
You got twice as many workers, right? So the competition in the labor force automatically goes up.
Right.
You don't have to put wages up because if you don't want to take this wage, there's another person here. It don't even matter whether she's a woman or not. Just the fact that you just doubled the workforce just like that. Just by saying bring women in. Every corporation in that situation now says, we've got way more people to pick from now. So if you like, and we're also going to encourage them to go to university and do the exact same jobs as you. So if you don't like it, we'll get someone else to replace you. It's much easier to replace you now. Cool. Everyone accepts pretty much stagnant wages. But what also happens on the flip side is now the households have two incomes, right? So they have more money.
Mm-hmm.
Even though they're technically doing more work, they also now have more money. So then you just feed them more stuff to spend the money on. Then you tell them that if you really love your kids, you're going to buy this toy for them. You're going to buy this educational goods for them. And you're going to send them to this summer camp. And you're going to do this for them.
Who's
winning if you really love your marriage, if you really love your partner, then you need to go and buy this diamond. And you need to take them on trips. And you need to take them on date nights. And then if you really love yourself, you need to buy a nice suit. And you need to buy nice heels to wear to work. And you need to also do this for the women. And then it's like, even if you do all of that, it's like, is your house nice enough? You need to do up your house now because you got
an MTV crib.
So by bringing women into the workplace, women are statistically more have more spending power than men. Both because of historical reasons of what we expect women to spend their money on, but also just because a lot of women will go for the security of getting a steady job, and they will also happily spend on things that make them feel comfortable. It's very easy to sell to women. You look at most clothing shops, they'll give you 3 floors for women. They put their men's stuff in next to the toilets at the back. So it's very, very...
And you still miss it. No men's section.
You can be standing in the men's section asking, where's the men's section? Like, yo, there's that t-shirt over there.
You know what? When H&M said
unisex.
When H&M said they're only doing women's stuff, I thought, what? Never occurred to me that, oh yeah, I don't really care about that. I'll just go to another store.
Bro, this is what I'm trying to tell you. So automatically, that whole move has just shifted all the spending away from, things like, just bringing the money home and, spending some on groceries, putting some aside for a pension, blah, blah, blah. Now you've just created this whole new thing where people need to take trips. They need to do couple goals because they both making money. So they now need to spend at the same rate, but with 2 incomes. And then now you got, this whole situation where women are making decent money and they now want a guy who makes the same amount of money or more because they want their lifestyle to consistently go up. And at the same time, all these corporations don't have to jump up wages every time their profits go up. Why? There's always more. And every time women leave the workplace, they just say, oh, this is terrible for society. We need to get women back in the workplace. So we all give our best and our most influential, most energetic, most engaged time to companies. And that's why people put off having kids. People put off getting married. People put off all of those relational things.
Crazy, man.
Wild.
But is there an alternative?
There is an alternative. It's called contentment, bro. It's called contentment. And, there's a certain amount to which in today's society, it's kind of accepted that, now we've risen prices to the point where you kind of have to have 2 incomes to support a house. But also, we do have to consciously reject a lot of the commercial materialism. On Netflix, again, they have a whole series called Explained, which is all documentaries on one thing or the other. They did one on diamonds, and they showed exactly how completely manufactured the whole idea of diamonds were, right? And one of the interesting things they pointed out about diamonds is that it's, I've forgotten the name of it, but there's a certain type of good that if you drop the price, you actually sell less of it. You need to actually keep the price high to keep selling it, right? Most goods, you drop the price, you sell more. Diamonds, you actually have to keep the price high. Why? Because it was part of a marketing plan. They directly attached, they did a focus group. And one thing that they picked up from the men was that when men bought diamonds for their women, they felt like they had arrived and they had achieved something. So they directly attached a man's feeling of achievement to buying diamonds. They consistently pushed that narrative. So for a man, if you drop the price of the diamond, you make him feel like he's achieved less. So if I can make you feel like you're doing better because you can spend more on my product, you will thank me and come and spend more.
Well, I get it.
Yeah. So it's the exact same principle that I've been trying to tell you about incentivizing people. If you can align somebody's motivations with yours, you can everything you want them to do, they'll do it for you because they believe they'll do it for themselves.
But that diamond thing doesn't work with me though.
I mean, you're very much a contrarian, so yes.
Like if I bought
it works with enough people for these diamond industries to still be what it is today.
But I believe it in the sense where Cristal, for instance, he didn't like the fact that rappers were using his drink because it cheapened his brand.
Yeah,
I can understand that.
Yeah,
because
I
his
think
friends will now come in and say, "Oh, it's the rapper's drink."
exactly.
And so that just ruined the taste of his drink, because if a rapper can afford it,
it's not even just the rapper can afford it. It's
how
just the fact that
exclusive is this?
yeah, that's it. That's it. It's the exclusivity that they wanted, right? So essentially, in that situation, he's put it out there as a commercial product, but it really isn't a commercial product. It's a status symbol, right? To sip this champagne.
Yeah.
So the
You're
idea
right.
that
And so is diamonds, no?
that's exactly what it is. So diamonds are not a product that we need. I mean, apart from people who need to cut diamonds and people who need to cut things in general.
Have you ever had a diamond?
Have I ever had a diamond? I mean, I've had like a tiny...
Or cubic zirconia?
Yeah, my wife's got a couple of white diamonds, but I did not spend what they say you're supposed to spend on her engagement ring. I specifically kept it very, very reasonable.
I think my sister used Kinder Surprise to get hers.
I respect you. I know you're taking the piss, but I respect you.
My sister's engagement ring was as humble as they get. They were more focused on having a house and having kids. And
I respect that 100%, bro. I got my wife a black diamond. I said, I'm not doing this. I'm not going down this road. They specifically said in the US marketing that your engagement ring should be 2 months' salary. Right? And men repeat it now. You hear it on TV shows and everything. It was a marketing campaign.
So if you're at KFC,
in the Japanese marketing, they actually put 3 months' salary.
Wow.
And in both markets, they both rose to that occasion.
Well, here's the thing, man. If you're getting married and you can afford 3 months' salary on a diamond ring, do your thing, boo-boo. If you can't...
It still doesn't have to be. It's still not a good use of your money.
It's not, but if you can afford it...
If you can afford it, you can always go ahead. But I'm just saying,
if you're Jay-Z, you're not going to worry about 3 months' salary on a wedding ring. Kobe bought his wife a $4 million pink diamond because he cheated. Do you know how much salary that was? That was 2 seasons he spent. That nigga spent 2 seasons on a ring.
He spent 2 seasons on some pumps, bro.
Well,
and really and truly, you have to think about it that way.
That's how it was, isn't it?
He spent 2 seasons on some pumps.
Like some pumps cost him 2 seasons.
Yeah, you have to start thinking about it that way around.
$4 million pink diamond
ask yourself,
ring.
was that really worth it?
The beauty of life, the $4 million pink diamond ring means nothing.
Wait, where'd she even go cash that in?
Well, now that he's not here, it means nothing.
I know, right?
She would sell that ring in 1 million times to get him back. So it was like you said, it's all relative. Do we need that? No. Because let's be honest, the $4 million ring didn't change what he did. Yeah, it made you comfortable to think your man can afford that. But let's be honest, man, there's some counseling that has to go on here because that's just not going to cover it.
You know, I think it's more. I think it gets to a point at that when I don't even think even for her it's like, oh, I've got this ring. I think it's more the fact that, you know, when you're hurt, you just want somebody to pay. You just want them to feel it, and usually that would be via divorcing them and then making them having to, like, you know, split assets and, you know, pay you for life and so on. And this one was just like a big down payment to avoid doing the whole Messi thing. And I think, you know, in that situation, that makes sense. Again, you have to pay the piper.
Like, doesn't your accountant call you 65 times? Like,
what, for the 4 million?
4 million just left your account, bro. What the fuck?
Nah, bro, you're not just gonna jump on the Monzo and send 4 million.
What's your deets? Send me a sock on them. Send me a sock on an account number. Man, transfer that 4 mil now.
It won't be like that. But you know, like most of these guys, they'll get given a black card, right? American Express black card. There's no limit on that.
There's no limit on it.
There's no limit.
I don't want a card like that.
Yeah, it's more rope to hang yourself with.
Yeah.
And so these guys can walk in and make $1 million purchase or whatever it is on this card, and then they just pay off the Air Max.
I'm at the point in my life.
But them Air Miles must be popping though.
I'm not asking why. I'm asking how much. That's where I'm at right now. No more why, how much?
Yeah.
Racial abuse on Twitter, how much? How much was made that weekend? I need to know. Because I need to know why I didn't make that much that weekend too.
For real, man. That's a good note to wrap this up on.
Don't ask why, how much? Ask how much.
All right. Where can the people find you?
Don't ask why. Don't ask, just ask how much. At Funbert, all the same times, all the same places.
I don't think any of your handles is at Fumbert. It's at Funmbi and at Funmbi on Matayo.
Okay, so at Funbi, but the moment you start spelling Funbi, it just takes you there. I'll take you there. Someone said to me, "Oh, you got fun in the first 3 letters of your name." I was like, "You're very, very observant."
It's like when
So
Arsenal's
guess what's
manager
meant
was
to be.
Arsene Wenger. It's like, oh wow, you're.
It's like, I guess what's meant to be. I was like, yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Oh my goodness! Did Claudio Mancini manage Man City?
Yes, he did. Won 2
Yeah.
titles, I think.
So he had MANCI in his name.
Mancini, he did.
Yeah.
He did.
Interesting.
A couple managers have had that actually.
Have had the club's name in their name.
Yeah, kind of intertwined in their name, but I can't think off the top of my head.
Just
now.
Arsene Wenger and Claudio Mancini.
Arsene Wenger was funny enough, and Claudio Mancini for me was a luxury manager at the time, but he's done himself some great favors by winning this latest tournament. So.
All right, let's not get back into football pod. All right, shout out to you guys. Shout out to Phil, who's listening.
Phil McIntyre, big up to you.
Nah, my bro Phil, thank you.
Phil
I know
Mitchell.
you dropped out during the little hiatus. You didn't know we're back. We back. Thank you.
Oh,
for
shout out to the
catching
guy
up.
who DM'd me as well, because he said you said we don't holler at you, so he hollered at me in the DMs.
Okay, then what's his name? You don't remember his name? Don't do that to my guy.
Now I'm gonna read it out now, but don't do that to my guy.
Yeah, shout out to
Michael
Phil.
A.
Okay, shout out to Phil. Shout out to Michael
No,
A.
let me say his name properly because it's on them. Oh, he's a part-time poet. I think he's in Nigeria.
Oh, that guy. Hey, bro, I shouted him out on the last pod, bro. Forget
Oh,
him, man.
do you know him?
Forget him. He's the one that flipping said he's gonna buy Tim's for his wedding night.
Why?
Because that's all he's reading about sex is those black porn movies with the Tims on it. He's gonna have
That's
Tims
rude.
on.
That's funny.
He can't make love to your
I
new
go to his
bride
house
with
and I
the
see
Tims on.
Tim's in the hall. I'm like, dog.
This guy. So shout out to Michael, shout out to Phil. Mine is at Ola the Comedian on everything that's on Neighborhood.
That's on Crip.
All right, guys. Stay blessed, man.
Peace.
Peace.